Cheers, queers! What's on the big gay agenda today, Theora?
Today we'll be concluding our scene-by-scene breakdown of Pluto the Series, episode 10. Woo!
Woo! Oh my gosh. We're getting really into the thick things now.
Yeah, the drama is dramaing, and we're getting closer to what's going to be a very lengthy discussion of episode 11. I can only anticipate.
Yeah. Oof. Cannot wait to see how long that's going to be.
Oof, yes. Take your bets now. Also, take your bets on length of our notes. It's been a while since we've reminded people. Reminder.
Yes.
All right, and with that, we'll transition to our corrections and clownery section. So first up, we have Patreon member Ash You So Stunnin', who writes, "Funny you mentioned, quote, Who Are You the Series as a joke, when coincidentally that's an actual GMM TV show where Namtan was the main character, and she also played twins in it. Of course she played twins. She can play multiple characters. She's got it."
That really is funny. Hilarious and such a big coincidence.
Yeah, it's really funny. We did not know that when we made that joke. Thanks for pointing it out.
Not at all. Oh my gosh. All right. Our next comment is from K Yoshi on Patreon. They say, in answer to Theora's question about when May would reveal her sight to I think she'd do it as soon as she realizes that there's no further improvement. However, since it's May, she would probably not tell I how long she has been able to see and concoct some plan with Tan to make it seem like she was revealing it as soon as it happened.
She would.
Yes, she because it has to be some sort of manipulation in there. Kayoshi continues, about the favor I wanted to ask of May, I'm with Theora that she was going to tell the truth, and the favor would be asking May to forgive her for pretending to be and to date her as I.
Damn, I know. Just all the shenanigans we could have avoided. I had told the truth all the times she felt compelled to do so. I'm with you, Kayoshi. Okay, and then we have Kasi M, who says, in all caps, I have been traumatized by only you, smiley face. In parentheses, the song and the series.
Only you can be traumatized by only you.
Only you. Yeah.
Actually, we are all.
We are all traumatized by only you.
Only you.
Which is not from Only You, that song.
No, it's not.
The irony.
Yeah, I want to know, like, is it that song or is it the Only You song?
Probably the show. Because they wrote the song and the series.
Yeah.
I don't know which song. Is it the Only You song from Queendom?
That's what I'm asking.
The Only You theme song?
Because we always bookend the Only You thing with the Only You song from Queendom, but I don't think it's that one, but I thought it was that one.
You Are the Moon of My Heart comes up way too often.
You are the moon of my heart.
That fucking song.
Anytime someone puts their hand on their
heart. No, literally, it's probably the most relevant thing from that show that comes up is that fucking theme song. It just got, if you don't know what we're talking about, this song is played at least 3 times in every episode in addition to the opening scene.
I'm sorry.
At least 3 per episode. No, it got worse as the show went on.
That is a very generous count, because not like generous, like undercount. Yeah, understatement.
It's an average amongst the episodes.
Average would say that there was less than that in some episodes. There is not. That's the minimum of 3.
A minimum of 3. Okay. All right, last comment from Patreon is from PGR, who writes, in all the deep discussion, I forgot the most important question. If I and May wanted to continue their deceptions, how would the lies be revealed? Ooh. I think May was gonna baby trap. To be honest, I'm still going with that. Baby trap. And it would have come out at the birth, and like it would have been that she's not having, because if I had canon, she has a surrogate. Imagine May having to stage the birth. Anyway, like it would have been the most ridiculous. Anyway, in the current timeline, though. I don't know, man. I think was the linchpin. I really think it would have came out like this, where I feel like if May and I were like really keen and like dedicated to their deceptions, like it had to be a third party that forced them into revealing the truth. And I think was the key to that all along,
It would have been
honestly.
like, "What is this bullshit? Let's get on with this."
I think that, like, in episode 11, I think when kidnaps May, like, and they have the showdown on the dock, like, that would have when the truth came out, and, like, Ton's there, and I feel like they would have had to force those 2 bitches to tell the truth. I think that, like, it had to come from, like, people who meant something to I and May. Like, means something to I, and then Ton means something to May, and I feel like it would have to come from people that, like, mean something to them to, like, force them into it. Because like, anytime it's somebody they, like, dismiss or, like, are not super attached to, like, I feel like they would cling to their deception kind of thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the deception of it all.
And BJR continues, Ploy has shown her inability to keep up with who's lying to. Can you blame her?
We have to have a murder board for
Can
it.
you blame Ploy? BJR continues, because she doesn't have to deal with it daily. Correct. That's so true. On a visit to Ploy's restaurant, the gang is seated at a table. Ploy comes out to greet her friends. When she gets to the table, Ploy says hello to I, as I gently tossing wait, what? As I well, gently tossing oh,
Oh, I think this is
I.
their
I got you. While gently tossing a soup spoon to May, which May easily catch. Oh, this is your version.
Yeah,
Okay,
this
this
is
is great.
your
Oh
yeah.
shit. Okay, sorry, I missed that. Which May easily catches. Oops. Oh, because she's blind. And I think May, I
Yeah.
think she's ready to
Oh
be
my
blind.
god, that's
It's good.
hilarious.
It's good. I think that May and I guilt over the criminal actions are important drivers to the story. That was a good video. I don't know what that acronym means.
You said for what it's worth
For what
before?
it's worth, 1 to 2 sapphic Disney princesses and Willow. That's true. I keep forgetting about Willow, and so does Disney because they took it off their
Yeah,
streaming
but they're
platform
yeah, they were sapphic for each other.
for
Like,
each
it's
other.
not the villain. Like,
Mhm.
yeah, so it
Yeah,
was just like it was the
yes,
whole
the
thing
villain
like 2
wasn't sapphic.
female villains.
Mhm.
Yeah, and if they were both gay, it would be like, "No, just take me. Take me here. I'm free."
Be like, "Well, she's hot. I don't know what to do." Uh, okay, and then BGR finishes with, sorry, but both May and I are chargeable criminals. By covering up for Kasol at his work, I is an accessory before the fact. This one is straightforward. May not telling the court that Batman pretended to be drunk to reduce the charge from attempted murder is also illegal. It's not covered by client lawyer privileges as it occurred after the charged crime. May even took advantage of Batman's cover up to reduce his sentence and final compensation. So what you're saying, BJR, is that they're made for each other. That's what
Yeah,
I'm hearing.
that's a good
And
point.
then they can we can go into an alternate timeline where they get charged for their bullshit, and then we have Clarabelle season 2 where they're in prison.
Yeah, every time we bring up someone being in prison, I'm just like, "Hmm, that would be an interesting dynamic to throw them into the mix."
Okay, but
Fan
like, okay,
fiction.
we throw I and May in prison. Who becomes like head HBIC of the prison? Is it I or May? Because I is the muscle, May is the brains. I think May would
We're
be
assuming that they become the head of the prison,
It's
first of all.
May. How would she not become
Mm,
head of the prison? Like, you
that's
don't
fair,
think
and
that makes
I's really scrappy, yeah.
I's the muscle and then May is the brains. I think they could easily take over the prison. I'm just saying.
That's true.
All right. Well, thank you guys for giving us a lot to think about and correcting us. As always, please feel free to write in and leave a comment, and we will read them on the air. We appreciate your addition to these discussions.
Yes.
All right. And with that, we will continue our journey of concluding episode 12. So we pick up with May fiddling with her Pluto necklace while in the middle of a council meeting with Ton and Ploy.
There's actually more than one person in the council meeting this time.
Yeah, it's like a council meeting and a guest in attendance, and that guest is Ploy. And apparently, this was an open meeting, so which we'll get to in a minute. Okay, and judging by the dialogue, I assume May and Ton are filling Ploy in about everything that's gone down with May's attacker and how that person is connected to I/. And Ploy is baffled that May hasn't sued Kasol's ass into oblivion, which is so valid.
Well, seriously, like, what he did was terrible, and you find out who it is, and you're just like, "Eh."
You're literally a lawyer. Well, again, to BJR's point, May is not a moral lawyer,
No.
as we have seen.
And, like, no, I totally understand, like, for her as well, like, her explanation for why she didn't do it, like, that makes sense because like,
No, it does.
she really did screw someone over, an entire family.
Yes, which is exactly what May tells Ploy. She's like, listen, she's the main reason that her attacker's friend is disabled for life, and his friend's mother is dead. So she's like, can't really hold a grudge for him disabling me in return. And in my opinion, this especially holds true because May's disability was temporary, and everything that happened to Ben and his family was permanent.
Yeah.
So May got off easy, and that's what I'm saying.
Yes, and it proved to be temporary, but it could have been permanent.
If
They
it
didn't
was
know.
permanent, then like maybe I don't know. I would have seen the karmic scales being a bit more balanced, but it's not. It's temporary for May. Anyway, so May tells us to Ploy, and as Ploy is processing this information, Kasol shows up in the flesh. Dun dun dun. Because
The
it's an
way that
open
he
council meeting.
but the way, like, he comes in, it's like he's not expecting I'm pretty sure he's not expecting anybody else to be here, and he's just like, "Why am I here?"
Well, he literally says that later. He does not know why he's here. Okay, so like Kasol reveals himself, and then we get this flashback of this confrontation where Kasol and May have and Han were talking way back when. Okay. And in the flashback, they're at the garage where Kasol works, and Kasol admits that he was the one that attacked May. And if you look in the flashback, May has her walking stick and isn't making direct eye contact with Kasol. So this whole thing must have went down before her eyesight started to improve, or when it was like not well enough to where she could really make things out. So this happened way back when, basically, in the timeline. And so while they're chatting, Kasol makes a step towards May, and Tan thinks Kasol is gearing up for round 2 of beating the shit out of his cousin. So he tries to be the protective big brother, and he's like, the fuck are you doing, criminal?
Well, that's fair because I mean, his track record, there you go, is not clean. And again, and he's a bigger guy coming at her. It makes perfect sense why Tom would be protective. And yeah,
Yeah, I mean, Kasol literally just admitted he blinded her 3 seconds
yeah.
ago. So Tan's like, what are you doing? Are you going in for round 2? Because, like, you know, this man has not been brought to justice, right? But what is justice? Maybe that's the name of this episode. Who knows? Okay. But then Kasol surprises Tan by putting his arms out, like in a handcuff position. And he says, I'm ready. Like, call the police, cuff me, lock me up. Like, I'm ready. So instead of like attacking May and escaping, he's like, you know, I've been waiting for the day for you to bring me to justice, and here you are. Okay. Which clearly is not what Tan was expecting, because he thought Kasol was going to attack May. And so he looks super confused. But if you watch May, her like lips twitch into this like little tiny smile. Because I think she picks up what's really going on with Kasol here. Because I think that they have a lot more in common than they don't, which we'll get into with the confession that's forthcoming from Kasol in a second. Because I think Kasol confesses what May suspected, which is that he felt guilty about attacking her, but he was too cowardly to turn himself in. And weirdly, he was like unable to run away and like flee and save himself. So it was like he was kind of like trapped in this like emotional prison. And he was just like waiting for the day he was going to be put into a literal prison by somebody else.
I mean, what a way to have to live though, like, knowing that you wrong somebody that much and, like, you could be caught at any minute.
Yeah, it's like it's purgatory. It's like this purgatory, like waiting for the shoe to drop or whatever, and then it never does. So then, like, here's May. So he was like, ah, okay, finally, it's gonna happen now. So, like, in summary, like, basically, to your point, he felt guilty about what he did this entire time and is ready for his punishment. And if you watch Gasol, like, he doesn't try to run away or like get out of this or anything. Because I think like he feels like he deserves punishment for his actions. And I think that is something May relates to, hence why she like kind of smiles when he's doing this, because I think she also understands that because she feels guilty for everything that she did with Ben and her, you know, the consequences of her actions for being a part of Batman's case and handling it the way her father wanted her to, even though in her brain she was doing that to protect protecting caused so much other damage, right? And I think May, when she became blind, eventually accepted that as her punishment that she deserved for her actions. So I think that like she understands Kasol, and I think that's going to be really important for their how their relationship kind of develops going forward from this point, because like they're like, I don't know, emotional responses and like rationality for their role in hurting somebody else and then like the deserving of their own punishment, I think is something the two of them share in common.
That's a great, point because that is very true, and I didn't that didn't register. Just yeah. Great point,
Yeah,
Theora.
because like here's Kasol being like, "Go ahead, take me. Like, I'm not gonna fight you." And then, why is May here at all? Like, May is in this scene is taking an active role in like taking responsibility for the wrongs that she did, and like Kasol kind of does the same thing. So I think that's also what this scene is showing us. And May actually does verbalize that out loud to Kasol, where she says that she's also been a coward too, but today she has courage and that's why she's here. And so she asks Kasol, take me to see Ben, the person that she wronged the most. Kasol looks confused and he's like, okay, help me out, bro. And then if you look at Ton is like staring down Kasol, like, yeah, like, do what she says, bitch. But then he's also like, wait, May, what did you say?
Okay, hold on. Ton is
love
always
it.
confused because he has no idea what May's ever going to do.
No, but I love that his initial reaction to Gasol is like, do what she says, bro. And then he's like, wait, May, what the fuck did you just say? It's so funny. Because you're right. He's always confused. Because, again, to me, that once again shows that May clearly kept her actual plan for this encounter from Ton, as she always does. But I love that he was pretending to be like her rider. Like, he's like, yeah, no, I'm on her side. But he's like, girl, what the fuck did you just say? It's so funny.
It's like, why are we?
He's like, that is not why I thought we were here. Because, like, yeah, it's funny. Because, like, Ton tries to roll with it, but is ultimately like, girl, what the fuck are we doing here? I think, like, maybe Ton was under the impression that they were actually going to call the cops on Kasol or, like, press charges.
Yeah, I wonder if that's how she got him there.
Right. No, he was, you know, brought here under false pretenses.
Was May like, we're gonna go get justice, and in like her justice is like repaying what she did,
Right.
and Ton's like, we're gonna go get this guy.
Right. That's what I think he thought was gonna happen. And then May's like, no, do me a favor. And he's like, what the fuck are you, girl? Oh my god, poor Ton. Anyway, he deserves a vacation after all of this, where he doesn't have to like go. He gets to go no contact with May for like at least half a year, so he can like be free of this bullshit.
Oh my gosh, I
This
think
poor
his
guy.
life would be so boring though.
Huh? You think he get bored?
His life would be boring without her and her schemes.
That's true, but his sanity will be intact.
That's fair.
And maybe his stress level will be lower. His heart rate will be lower. In the long
He'd have
run.
more time for a hobby.
Well, he's got Ploy. Maybe he can actually date Ploy now in peace.
Yeah.
All right, so after May makes this request, we cut over to Ben's place. And now we get a glimpse of Ben in the motorized wheelchair, and it's very similar equipment in the room to what we saw when I went to visit him in the present. So I'm assuming that, like, in the timeline, like, this is obviously before I shows up, when May is still blind or her sight is not nearly as recovered as it should be. And so, like, Ben's clearly been, like, taking May's money. So, like, I'm trying to, like, put the timeline together of, like, when the case ended, when May was trying to give him money, and, like, because he's gonna say in this conversation that, like, oh, I didn't accept it at first, but then ultimately, obviously, he did, because look at all the fancy equipment. So, like, I think that
I
she's been this benefactor in the background, and this meeting is, like, the first time she saw him. Well, not saw, was in the same room with him, basically, in person.
yeah, I feel like she tried to help him, like, pretty soon after it all happened.
Yeah, she probably tried, he refused, but then he accepts at some point because, like, all his equipment is, like, top notch, so, like, it had to
Yeah.
come from her money. Okay, and then if that is all the case, that, like, this is the first time May's been in the same room as Ben, like, in person, my guess is that Ton has been the middleman facilitating all of this because he's always the middleman, so I wonder if this was Ben has seen Ton before. If he was the
That's
middleman for
fair.
all
Or
this,
is there just, like, give me your bank account information and it just automatically goes in there?
Yeah, but he would have to, like, meet Ben to get that. How else are you gonna get somebody's
I
bank
don't
account?
know.
Like, I
Yeah,
feel
that's
like
fair.
Ton has met in my head canon, Ton has been here before, Ton has met Ben. Because he's always the middleman. May
Then
doesn't
why
have an
couldn't
assistant.
Tan take May to meet him? Because they needed console.
That's true. Maybe they met at a third party location. Maybe they met at, like, a diner or, like, some shit. Never go to a second
Yeah.
location. They probably met somewhere public. I feel like Ton was facilitating this shit. Because he does everything for May. May clearly wasn't facilitating this.
Could they have gone through the lawyer?
In my head canon, it's Ton.
Okay.
Anyway, so they show up in front of Ben, and then Ton's like, "Oh, he's there." He like points her out shows her where Ben is in a way. And then without saying anything, May drops to her knees and bows fully in front of Ben. And then she says, basically in this conversation, that her apology doesn't change what happened, but this is the only way she can convey how truly sorry she is. And to me, this is a parallel to the scene of what she did with her father. Remember that horrible flashback where he was being a dick and her mother and Tom were like,
Mhm.
just apologize to end the violence. And so the last time she did this, like, humbling, deep apology gesture, she was forced into doing it to save her family and herself from domestic violence. But here with Ben, May chooses to do this because she wants to convey how she genuinely feels. Like, this is a genuine, like, I am so deeply sorry. That is why I am doing this. And in this scene, too, like, May is still crying and she's, like, feeling all of those emotions, but those emotions are coming from, like, an actual place of deep sorrow and regret, and not from this, like, feeling of being defeated and belittled like it was with her father. And I think the sincerity in May's apology is so moving that Kasol and Tan both tear up and have a hard time watching her do this. Like, if you watch Kasol and Tan, they look away from her, like, multiple times. And, like, from Tan's point of view, it could be he's having a PTSD flashback to, like,
Mhm.
the scene I'm mentioning with the dad, because he was there. But, like, I don't know, like, Kasol has no background of that, so I feel like the sincerity and the sorrow coming from May is, like, felt genuinely from the room, because they're not like, they're standing behind her, so they're getting this, like, back-eyed view, back of the head view of her, and so, like, it must be, like, her voice is, like, conveying this, like, sorrow that they feel, and they're, like, getting emotional to it, like, having emotional reaction to it.
I'm sure that this is triggering Kasol's guilt as well, being like, "I hurt this person who's just trying to make things right
Yeah, that's true.
in return."
Right. That's a good point. So everybody's being triggered in this scene. The only person who doesn't tear up is Ben. Because does Ben have emotions? We don't know.
No,
Kaitlynn
he doesn't
pointed that
have
out.
he has 0 emotions whatsoever.
He doesn't have any.
And I wonder if that's an actor choice, character trait, like, in the script, or, like, what's going on there.
Yeah, and that's an amazing point because basically this, like, Ben was mostly concocted by GMMTV. Like, Ben was, like, a plot point in the novel, but, like, wasn't really a character. So, amazing question. I don't know. People from Pluto, come talk to us. We would love to ask these questions.
Seriously, please.
Seriously. Excuse me. Okay, so May finishes the apology by telling Ben that he doesn't have to forgive her, but then Ben surprises May by quickly saying he forgives her, like really fast. Like she barely is done talking when he's like, no, I forgive you. And May looks really surprised to hear this from him because truly, I think she came here with 0 expectations for how this was going to go down. Like she wasn't here demanding redemption or really like begging for forgiveness at all. She was here to be like, I just want you to know for your peace of mind that I am very sorry about what happened. No expectations, no reciprocation kind of thing. But like Ben very kindly gives her that like that reciprocity where he's like, no, I do forgive you for what you did. And then he goes on to explain that what we've heard before, which is that his mom didn't know that the suicide wasn't covered by the life insurance. And then Ben admits that he knows that May is the one that paid for all his medical equipment and apparently a home nurse. She fixed his house, like things he could never afford. So May filled this financial gap that the settlement money from Batman should have covered. And then Ben admits that he didn't want to accept any of the gifts initially, which is totally understandable because it's like blood money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's kind of like fucked, you know. It's like if Batman were to show up and he's like, "Yeah, no harm, no foul, bro. Here's $20." You know what I mean? After you just paralyze
Oh
me
my
for
god.
life.
He would. He'd be
He
like,
would.
I made
Reparations.
whatever. Yeah, thank you. I gave him $20.
Yeah, that would be Batman. That stupid idiot rich
the
boy that
equivalent.
dresses up like Batman, which is how he got his nickname.
Oh my god, I just every time that comes back.
It's so
and
dumb.
just-
I mean, listen, if you're out there getting your kicks dressing up like Batman, that's fine. I don't care. It's just like this
the
rich
fact
man.
that this criminal now.
He's a criminal. That pisses me
No,
off.
he's not. He got off.
I know. He's a smooth criminal. So is May and I. It's fine. They're all criminals. Okay. Here's the deal though. Okay, so Ben admits like at first he obviously he didn't want to accept these gifts from like the evil lawyer. But when he was listing off the things that May provided for him through the money, like the wheelchair, the fancy equipment, a home nurse, like he's smiling when he's listing these things off. So I think that he eventually saw May's actions, like the financial support she was giving him, as an act of goodwill. And I think that he forgave May long before she showed up here. Because really, she's not the one that caused the accident. She didn't paralyze him. She was the lawyer that made it so that he was financially fucked, basically, through her lawyering. And he admits, so like I think that she was forgiven before she walked in this room and just made it know this until now. And then Ben rationalizes that one of the big reasons he did forgive May is his mother's sacrifice. Right? So her mom, the reason his mom, like, because every flashback we've gotten with Ben up to this point about like him in the aftermath of the accident, a lot of it, with the exception of when I comes to visit him for the first time, a lot of those flashbacks, Ben was like sitting in the grief and he hadn't fully processed his mother's death. Because first of all, this boy comes out of a coma or whatever, and realizes he's paralyzed forever, and then has to deal with that, and then also is like, oh, by the way, your mom's dead. Like that was a lot he had to deal with all at once, kind of deal. Okay, that's
Yeah.
two traumatizing events like he had to deal with at once. So I think that for Ben, it took him probably a while to process why his mother died. And he says it here that she died so that he could live his life. Because basically she was trying to save him for the financial burden of medical bills and the fact that like Ben, who was a mechanic, right? How the hell is he going to be how is he going to be a mechanic now? Like can he even still do his job? Like is his current job wheelchair accessible? Like what happened to him in his job that he had before the accident? Like can he support himself with the skill set he had prior to the accident? Like these are questions that are kind of left unanswered by Pluto the series because Ben is not the focus. Ben wasn't even a character in the novel, really. He was a MacGuffin. He's like a plot point. He's not a person. But here's GMMTV making him a person. So there's a lot of questions when it comes to Ben and like what happens. And so perhaps his mother kind of who is a person we know has had a life of just like struggling to get by. She's like paycheck to paycheck kind of person is what I'm gathering from what we know about her. And so I think she saw Ben who gave up college. And why did he give up college? So his mom could live her life. So the two of them were trying to sacrifice for the same end, like for each other because they loved each other. But like Ben's mom makes this like final sacrifice kind of thing. And it was all in vain, which was the shitty part because she didn't know the life insurance policy and that suicide wasn't covered. So, but like she did try to do that. But then May comes in and like ends up fulfilling the financial safety net that the mom was trying to do and like saved Ben from who knows what would have happened to him if he was like buried in debt. Potentially, now he's not able bodied and he was working in a job where like it basically requires you to be pretty able bodied to be a mechanic. Like you got to get under cars and stuff. And like, who knows what would have happened to Ben if like he had no money? Like it would have been like he would have died. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we don't know what would have happened to Ben. It would have been probably really grim.
Yeah, I can only imagine. I don't know what kind of support set up in Thailand, but he's
I,
definitely in a
I don't
way
know.
better off place right now than he could have been.
Right. And we like every time we're at his house, he's by himself. So like what is his family support really besides his mom? Like we really those are again, there's not a lot given about Ben truly like with his whole family. We don't know what his whole family situation looks like. It's just the mom is all we know. So the fact that he had a home nurse makes me think that he doesn't have family support. Hence why May sent a nurse to the house to help take care of him. Cause like when, you know, when patients are first rehabbing after a spinal injury, like you need another person really needs to be there to like help them get out of the bed and like learn how to do that. And yeah, and so many other things. So yeah, Ben was really in a really horrible position. So it's just the irony of his case where like he was a mechanic to save his mom so his mom could live more of her life and not be burdened with like financially supporting herself and everybody and then like she ultimately does the same thing right back but in this like final way, you know. It's really sad.
And we're getting this like extreme comparison because like that is
Mhm.
exactly we've talked about this with I and Mima
Yes.
what was happening. So like we're seeing like what could be if they kept sacrificing and trying to like kind of like one up each other of their sacrifice so the other person didn't have to do as much. And now with Ben and his mom, there's like no one upping taking your life.
Yeah, it's like the circumstances became so extreme that their sacrifice became more extreme and how they did it. But I think it's like it goes back to what's the title of I's book, The Value of Love. Like
Yeah.
here it is, you know.
But I just my brain keeps going back to he would have been a lot better off if his mom was there, even if they were struggling, like, she would be there to help him and there to love him and, like, ugh, it's heartbreaking that this situation happened.
Yeah, but I wonder if mom was like, "There's no way we can afford these bills."
Yeah, that's
Like, there's no
I
way.
mean,
Like
that's the ultimate
they
reason.
both would have been fucked. Capitalism is the true evil of this story.
It always
It
comes down to
always is.
capitalism.
It's always there.
Capitalism and deception.
Pluto the series. I mean, yeah, you could like think about it. May is the embodiment of of capitalism. Anyway, we won't go there. This isn't Whale Store, which was very explicit about capitalism. But yeah, no, it is.
Very.
It's part. It's definitely part of it. It's like part of their, part of the society in which this takes place. This story. So yeah, that is a driver for sure. Okay. Anyway, so as Ben is explaining his reasoning for forgiving May and like the fact that like his mom's sacrifice made him like realize like life is short kind of deal and I'm going to live my life the way I want to, May starts bawling because this death in particular has been weighing super heavy on her. Right? Cuz like this was a very unforeseen consequence of the Batman case was this body, okay? That is now weighing on May's conscience. And so him talking about his mom in the same breath as being like, I forgive you, I think like really releases something in May, like the guilt that's been weighing on her. And Ben continues by saying, like, he's gonna take this chance to live his life and he wants her to do the same too. So Ben is essentially releasing May from her emotional prison that she's been trapped in, just like a soul, so that she can move on with her life. And to me, this was a lot of growth for Ben, I assume, because it all happened off screen.
Ben is not a person
No, he's
in the
not.
grand scheme of things.
He's really not. Honestly, like, I wish we had more time devoted to him as a character because he's very interesting and he goes through a lot. But as I mentioned, in the novel, Ben wasn't even a character. I don't even think he had lines, honestly, aside from like a flashback where I was like, we should get the lawyer. So I give GMMTV props for giving him more substance and like giving us the story with his mom and all of that stuff. So like thank you for giving us something. I just wish they could have, we could have delved into him more as a person, but we got more than what was originally there is what I'm saying. So thank you for that. Okay, so May eventually stops sobbing and releases a big breath. Like the weight of all this is finally lifting from her. And then she smiles, like big and bright, before she starts crying again. Because I think this is a lot for May, and she really wasn't expecting Ben to forgive her like, at all. And then Ton drops to the floor and holds May while he cries because he is her ride or die. And then the scene ends with Ben looking to Kasol and nodding. And I'm not entirely sure what these two are communicating, to be honest with you. Like, it doesn't
Like,
match the emotions of the scene.
no, yeah, I mean, that's fair. The only thing I can think of is that he's like, yeah, she's like a good person deep down,
Okay.
or like, yeah, I'm good with this.
Let's all move on, Kasol, I guess. It's just Ben is so emotionless, I never know what the hell is going
Yeah.
on with him.
Could have added a little bit more emotion there, Ben.
Yep.
Not ahead, not there. Men. Some men do have emotions, though.
Like Kasol. Kasol has so many emotions.
Yeah. Kasol is an idiot and a genius at the same time.
I know. And he cried in that, he almost cried in that scene, so he has like a heart,
Yeah. Ben.
Yeah, does Ben have a heart? We don't know. Anyway. Alright, so after that scene, we cut back to the present, where Kasol is meeting with May, Ton, and Ploy. And apparently Kasol has no idea why he's here. He's like, bitch, I don't know why I'm here. Like, did you change your mind and you're gonna like arrest me now? Like, so
Yes,
I
you're
like
sitting at the table because we're about to turn you in.
Kasol, like exactly. Like what is he just like down for whatever? She calls him out of the blue and he's like, I guess I'll show up.
Did you let people you know you might not be there for, like, your plans later?
Again, this is his dumbass and genius shit on display. Like he's on the polar opposite ends of that, never in the middle. Because he's like, he does say in the scene, he's like, "Oh, May, did you change your mind about like wanting to arrest me?" So like the other thing is like when May the first time came and talked to him and didn't arrest him, I guess he like didn't fully believe she was never gonna come for him. And honestly, because that would be wisdom, right? Because not trusting May is super wise, Kasol, if that is in fact
It
what
is
happened.
actually very true. Like,
Correct.
don't
Don't
trust
trust her.
May.
Should never trust May.
She's
He
always got something going on.
always something. You could never trust this bitch. Ever. Okay. Okay, and then so he poses the question to May to be like, why the fuck am I here? And what should be not surprising to anyone at all listening to this podcast, as May reveals that Kasol is here to spill the tea about why Ioun left her. So it's not about you, Kasol. This is about me.
Okay. So that is hilarious because yes, it's always about her.
It's always
Like,
about her.
how does this affect me? You're here because it affects me.
Yes. You're here because it affects me. I mean, he's like, am I going to get arrested today? I have no idea. And she's like, my girlfriend left me. Kasol, tell me why.
Tell me why
Tell me why. Exactly.
I doesn't wanna be with me. Tell me why has to wake up from the coma because May is definitely thinking, damn, is awake.
So poor.
But anyway, no, my favorite thing is the reaction to this, and I'll let you talk about it. But
Okay.
oh my god.
Okay. So May essentially makes this about herself, which is not surprising. And also, when she called him over here, she forgot to add one other little detail, which is that she then tells Kasol, oh, by the way, I knew that I was pretending to be the whole fucking time. Oh, and also I can see. Poor Kasol.
I'm not even on your eyes part, okay? He's like, wait, you knew about I? And I'm like, first of all, there's now someone else learning about that she knows I is I.
Yep,
Without
before
I
Ioun.
knowing.
He learns this before Ioun does.
And then on the seeing part, and it's just, oh my god, why? Why? Tell me why.
Tell me why.
Do we have to go through this?
Okay, but here's the deal. When he figures out this bitch can see, the look of panic that's on May's face when she realizes that he knows that she can see, to me is hilarious because like it signals to me how desperate May is to solve why did Ioun leave me, that she's not thinking 20 moves ahead right now. I think that like this is how desperate, it's showing us how desperate May is, that like if she really wanted to conceal the fact that she was blind and was thinking clearly, she would have, but she does not. Like her guard's down more than normal in this scene with Kasol, a stranger. So that should be a big signal that May is very out of sorts over the whole Ioun thing.
She also tells Kasol that she's known the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, there's no now I's best friend knows that you've known the entire time.
Well, so does Ping, but I don't think
That's
May knows that.
yeah.
But also, okay, well, but also like now that you're bringing that up, fuck I's friends because nobody tells I.
Seriously, why are we not telling I?
Why
We
didn't
both
Pang
knew.
tell her?
Peg needs to tell her. Like, what kind of ride or die are you, bitch?
Why is she so blinded by Jan's big gay energy that she doesn't
She's
tell
blinded
I?
by the gay.
I think she is. Like, I'm just wondering that now. Like, why the hell didn't Pang tell I?
Pang didn't even let it slip. Pang's not even talking to I
I know,
much
right?
right now.
Yeah, I know. She's wrapped up in Jan right now. That's because Pang is being too gay to function right now. That's on her.
To be fair, I is also wrapped up in someone, so it's kind of like when you're like both
That's
people are in a
valid.
relationship and they're on their own, like they later that she's gonna be like, oh yeah, wait a minute, I meant to tell you how messed up your relationship is right now.
By the way,
And she's like, don't worry, I got it.
I'm well aware. Also, okay, yeah, so then therefore Pluto the series is a cautionary tale about what happens when you don't communicate with your best friend.
Yes.
All of this can happen to you.
You must talk every day. Be
To your
like,
best
are there
friend.
and did you find out anything about me that I don't know? Because they could figure out something about you just by talking to you that they have not verbalized to you, and you'd be like, "Oh, you have ADHD. Oh yeah, thanks for telling me. I should go get tested."
That's how it happened in Pluto's, but that's an example of why you should
It
talk to your
is.
friend every single day. Cause
And
like,
tell
okay,
them you care.
imagine if Pang and I actually had check-in sessions and where they're like, I's like, what did you do today, Pang? And Pang's like, well, I ran into Officer Hottie and like I was having a date with Jan where Jan told me that your girlfriend knows you're not your sister. And like then Officer Hottie showed up and I was like, wait, what?
But I feel like Pang should have heard this, been like, "What the hell?" And it was like,
Seriously.
should have
Let
been
me tell
like, "I
I.
need to talk to I right now."
Seriously. Is
Unless
that
she
not something
was
you text your best friend and you're
because
like,
like
by the way?
by keeping that secret for Jan, she's respecting Jan more than
More than
I.
I?
Where again, as a ride or die, or like just as her friend, we call her ride or die. But like as a friend, you think she would be more respectful towards her.
Correct. And like she could have like cleared up a lot of stuff and been like, found out about you guys before the accident and like sent you there to break up with May.
Cause yeah, Pang knows
Pang
everything.
knows everything. Like Pang could tell I all of this like yesterday. Damn it, Pang.
What the hell, Pang?
Seriously, what the fuck?
That would have been the most hilarious conversation because I feel like Pang would show up with a bunch of alcohol,
Yes.
have I drink first, and
Yes.
then she
Yes.
drinks as well because she's trying to get herself ready
To
to
say it.
tell her everything. And then we would have gotten that scene where
Oh
they're
my
drunk
God.
together,
But
and
they're
it would have been
drunk.
her trying to be like, it would have been the scene like, and she came down in a bubble. You know that the Wizard of Oz thing on social media?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that. It would have been like that kind of energy telling I, your relationship is messed up.
No, listen, I would have loved that scene. That would have been amazing. We were robbed.
We were, but I can always have it in my fantasies.
It is good.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway. So then May reveals the truth of what she knows to Kasol, including that she knew sent I to break up with her. And Kasol does something really rare in this series, which is he tells the truth. And he reveals that I's motivation for leaving May is because I think she's responsible for May's blindness. And then the scene ends after this, but I wish it continued so Kasol could continue and say, but like now you're not blind and you know the truth. Have you told I any of this?
Oh.
Like I wish he could have grilled her a little bit.
And be like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I would have been on the phone with I right after leaving.
Seriously.
Don't ignore calls from your friends either.
Yeah, this Pluto is a cautionary tale on what happens when you don't prioritize friendships. Honestly. Okay, But serious note with that scene, Kasol basically is like, oh, I's staying away from you because she thinks she hurt you or whatever, like blinded you or whatever. But like, and like maybe that is I's main motivation for breaking up with May, air quotes, by giving May back to but also like Oom's amnesia is also a factor here that we're ignoring in this scene a little bit. Like I feel like both things are motivating for I, for like why she gave up May to
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah. But anyway, I think maybe the thing is temporary and I is like, I need to permanently stay out of her life because I harmed her so deeply. So I think that's like the main, like the reason number one, but also there's the factor that everybody in this episode, this second half of the episode keeps forgetting about And it's like causes the fuck shit in the next episode because we keep forgetting about
Yeah, because she's Pluto right now.
She's fucking Pluto.
No. We don't forget about Pluto.
No, never. Never forget about Pluto.
Never forget. Pluto is a planet.
Well, it's like the song we don't talk about Bruno. It's like everybody who's not talking about Pluto.
We don't talk about Pluto. It works.
I know. And Pluto works for and Officer Hottie because we don't talk about them.
Yeah.
All right.
Officer Hottie, I miss you. I need you back on the screen soon.
I need you and to meet. I need it. Anyway. Okay, so while all that shit's going down, we shoot on over to Mima's, where is all alone in bed, lost in thought, and toying with the ring on her finger. And is thinking over when May ditched her in the hospital for literally no good reason. And I think that is like replaying all of this shit because A, she's not fucking stupid, and B, she's like slowly untangling the web of lies she doesn't realize she's trapped in. And she's like, okay, May is being weird around me, like a lot weirder than I remember with my limited memories. And May is also not wearing their matching rings, which is another red flag, okay? So overall, the math is not mathing for And it's so sad. There's this moment where she starts rubbing her temples and closing her eyes, and it's like thinking through this is actually painful for her because has actual gaps in her memories, right? And it's not that like she has like brain damage kind of thing. It's like her trauma is masking it. So unmasking those memories is going to be extremely painful for And I hate that she's alone and like poking at the trauma without realizing it right now. Like, and like this has to be painful for is what I'm saying. And she's doing it alone, which I really hate for her.
That's really sad.
I know.
I also wonder how many times she's asked, like, what is my life? And like here she's actually asking what is my life. And then after she remembers, she's probably like, what is my life?
Well, that was when I had to first step into shoes, and she's like, what is life?
She still doesn't know what life is. Let's be real.
Even when had her memories, what was life? That's been the question the whole show. Could you imagine if didn't get her memories back? Like later on in the episode, Jan's gonna like give her like the spill the tea of everything. I would love that scene where Jan is trying to explain to what her actual life is, and like is like, what? Like what is like seriously? What is my life?
And what happened?
Why was that off screen, GMFT? That would have a comedic goldmine.
I would have sacrificed anything for that.
I know. And poor listening to her life. She's like, what the fuck?
No, that would have been hilarious. Oh my gosh.
Know.
And Jan says it like so nonchalantly
yes!
too. And like, wait. I know you told me to listen carefully, but like, what?
Why did I do this? And Jan's like, I don't know, girl. It made sense to you at the time to marry somebody you didn't love.
And you're still together with May, and I held her hostage in our relationship.
And I told to break up with her so they would meet. What the fuck? At my wedding?
And then I hope she thinks about the fact that she was still together with somebody at her wedding,
I
and she asked her
listen.
twin sister to break up with her for her.
Imagine finding out you're a shitty person by your friend.
But then, like, I wanna see the realization on Oom's face when she realizes, like, what we realized that, um, like, to I, she's literally being asked to break up with the girlfriend on her
Listen,
wedding day,
and then
and,
dates
like,
her
yes,
hard.
but, like, then knows not May knows everything, and then they
Oh
have
my
that whole thing
god.
going on.
Oh, no, yeah, okay, because Jan oh my god, seriously, Jan would have to reveal that too, but don't worry, May knew that I was I and not you the whole time, so May is actually in love with I, like, not you. Like, imagine that conversation.
Be
Oh, and
like
by the way, I was helping them get together, and I did this whole thing with bunting flags, and then I met Pang, who's my soulmate, I think, but, like, it's because you asked me to, and then Oom's, like, bawling her eyes out because she doesn't know any of
she's like, "What did I do?" Because it
what
all
did I
stems back from,
do?
"You asked me to."
Damn, I
Like,
really wish we
"You
got that
asked me
scene.
to." But
Oh, that would've been so good. Poor Oom.
like, I laugh because if Jan was like, "I's pretending to be you," that would start giving more hope because she'd be like, "Oh, so she is like, maybe she is in love with me still." I'd be like, "Oh, no, don't worry. May knows you." And so, like, just be breaking her heart
I
multiple
know,
times over
poor
and over.
Oom. No, I feel like that conversation I feel like we really should have gotten that conversation with because, like, we're gonna see it in the scene, I'm gonna point it out, like, the cracks in her mental health start showing, but, like, that I feel like would have been, like, taking a battering ram to, like, whatever self-defense mechanism she had mentally to protect herself, like, Jan would have shattered all of it in that conversation, like and, like, that's why Mima and I were so hell-bent on, like, keeping the truth from so could, like, slowly figure this shit out versus, like, Jan trauma dumping Oom's life onto her, but, like, it's just, like, there was never gonna be a good outcome here, and I feel like everybody makes it worse by lying to and then Oom's like, "Not only did all this fuck shit happen, but now you were all actively lying to me."
I
And
wanna know how
everybody
much Jan told her because, like, did she tell her about everything with Paul? And there's so much things, like, in her
she
life.
does, because when we get to the
Yeah.
showdown in 11, she knows about Paul. I think Jan takes her to their I think we get flashbacks in 11 when we get the story where Jan takes her
Yeah,
to their
I think
house.
you're right.
But yeah, she does tell her about Paul. I still wanted those conversations. I would love to have heard Jan try to recount the fuck shit with May to
I would love okay, I'm also picturing her, like, starting to say something and be like, "Oh, wait, 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 I have to tell you about this. Oh, wait, 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 no, I have to tell you this first."
I
And
know.
then just, like, in
Oh,
a cycle of
I was
and,
like,
like, she gets
oh,
nothing out.
I was like, "Oh, it's not that bad." And she was like, "Oh, wait, wait, I forgot this part." Like, by the way, May knew that she was dating I, not the whole time, not you. She's like, "Aw." Like, poor
And,
Like,
like, there's
Jackie's making
some
it worse.
things that Jan doesn't even know, and it would be funny if, like, I had to, like, tell her something, like,
Oh
just
my god.
randomly brought things up, be like, "Yeah, I thought it was weird that she kissed me the first day," and, like, that's all it took.
And Jen would be like, "Oh, no, they had sex too and everything." Poor poor because Pang definitely knows about that, but I don't know about Jan. Well, she probably told Jan, let's be honest. And again,
Let's be
Jan is delivering
honest.
this matter-of-factly because it's Jan. Ah, poor Rome. Okay, anyway, so before we did jump ahead, but for good
We
reasons.
did.
But before we get to that, we're gonna pivot away from tormenting herself over her relationship with May to her twin sister doing the exact same thing because they share more than just a brain cell. So I is wearing the quote lost slippers May gifted her, and she looks like sad but also kind of happy. Like she's also thinking about her relationship with May. But unlike she's focused on like happy memories, like the memory of like being gifted these shoes and like how she felt probably. And while Ai is lost in thought, gathers enough courage to come to Ai's room, probably to talk to Ai about all the weird shit going on with May. Because when is in trouble, her go-to person to ask to help for is her big sister. But unfortunately, this is the one thing Ai is unable to help her with because it might kill Ai. So when knocks at the door, Ai panics and jumps under the covers. So then poor enters the room and tries to wake up Ai. Like, she does all the things. Like, she yells, she like talks pretty loudly a bunch of times.
Oh, yeah.
And
I
then
would
she
think, "Is my sister in a coma?"
right, and then she comes over and like physically shakes her a bunch of times. And I feel so bad for because she like is begging I to get up and talk to her. And it's like, you literally woke up at 4 a.m. the other day to talk about May, and got up for you. But meanwhile, is standing over okay, and like pleading for I to wake her up. And she's like, please, please talk to me. And then we get this shot of Oom's face when she's hovering over I. That's the screenshot I gave you, Kaitlynn.
Mhm.
And like, if you look at her face, like looks worse than just like troubled. You know what I mean? I think that this is the cracks in Oom's mental health are showing in this scene. Because if you think about it, we just saw her like tormenting herself by her like all alone. So then she's like, I don't want to be alone with these thoughts. I need help. So then she seeks help and is being ignored when she's asking for help. And now we all understand Ai's point of view and why she really can't be the person that needs her to be when it comes to May because it's literally killing Ai to do it. But the cost of that, of Ai removing herself from the picture entirely to the point where she can't be somebody relies on in this moment, is at the cost of emotional well-being and her trust, okay? Because everybody forgets about trust, okay? This is gonna break trust big time. Because here she is being like, I'm trusting you with my vulnerability right now. Because, like, that's why she's here seeking Ai's help and not Mima's, because she trusts I. And I think this is huge. Okay, the fact that is doing this, because before the accident, right, wherever memories have left off, like presently, her and I were still on the outs with each other, right? So
Mhm.
really came a long way after the accident from like keeping her distance from I to relying on I when she needs help, like so openly. Like that's such a big leap for if you really think about it. And I think what helped facilitate that, like for to getting to the place where be like, I is somebody I can trust again fully and rely on. She cares about me. I think what got to that place was the fact that I, quote, took care of May when she was in the coma, right? And I think is under the impression that I did that because she loves her. And I think to that helped repair the bridge of trust that was between them, like from Oom's point of view, which I is gonna like blow up when finds out what actually
Mhm.
happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's
poor
really shitty that like we see that like is like not as mentally strong. And like what's making her feel stronger is the fact that she has people who love her and she can rely on, but like she can't, which is the shitty part. Like here's I actively ignoring her, like when she needs help, which is fucked up. But I get why I's doing it.
Yeah, but she's definitely not okay, and, like,
No.
having to deal with, like, I can't imagine having like, not remembering things that everyone else knows that you
Yes.
should be able to know,
I know.
but it's just literally your brain can't remember it right now, and
Yeah.
you feel like there's a bigger part of your life. I mean, that is a big part of her life. She doesn't even know how much she's missing because they didn't tell her.
I know. I know. And it's also like you can tell me something, but it's like not the same as like experiencing it. You know what I mean? So it's like
Yeah.
an echo of a memory in a way. it can almost feel like that happened to somebody else because you have no, like, emotional attachment to that, no, like, imagery in your brain, nothing that would really connect you to a memory. You know the way, like, senses can connect you to a memory, like, you hear a
Yeah.
song and you get transported, you smell a smell, you get transported to a memory, like, if has none of that. So, like, it it's gotta feel even more isolating to be, like, living in her life right now where she,
Like,
like, doesn't feel connected to it, you know?
and in case anyone needs an example, think about this. So, don't you remember that last year you were selected to become an astronaut and you actually went into space and landed on the moon? There's no evidence of it because all of the pictures blew up on reentry and there was like a huge fire and stuff. You were lucky to be alive, but you're here now. And I'm sorry, this is it's happening now.
Just you
Okay.
might as well just keep
So,
going.
yep. And but you made it out alive and you were a hero because you saved a puppy on the way home. I don't know. But
It's
just like
just like that.
it's that's how disconnected because like
Right, it's very
you're like,
disconnected.
I don't like, what do you mean I went to space? And then you're also like, I wish I
Where's the
could
puppy
remember
come
that.
from?
That would have been really cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Sorry. That was a really weird tangent.
That's basically what's going on with okay, in case you were wondering. So,
Yeah.
alright, eventually gives up on waking up I and is like, "What a deadbeat." So instead but, like, she doesn't say that. But so instead she is like, "All right, let me be a good sister because she's really tired. I'll just bother her later." And instead of like continuing, she rearranges the blankets to tuck I in. And I panics because lifting the blanket reveals that she is wearing May's slippers right now, the missing ones. But fortunately for doesn't see this. And instead, poor confused leaves to go spiral alone in her with her thoughts in her room. And once she's gone, I gets up from under the covers and sits up in bed. And then she starts staring at the slippers and like sighs. Because here is I living with her choice of hurting herself to spare the ones that she loves. But like I keep mentioning, like, is this choice really sparing them? Is it because, like, as we saw in the prayer scene, her ongoing deception is driving May insane and it's worsening mental state. Okay? So, like, what are we doing, I?
What she thinks is right.
I know, but she doesn't even stick to it, which is the insane part.
Yeah. I don't know.
I can't rationalize that. Okay, so then, all right, so then in the scene, like basically it ends with I staring at the slippers, right? And then I was kind of like wanted to circle back to the slippers to be like, of all the things that she shared with May, because they shared a lot of stuff together, right? Why did I keep the slippers from Like of all the things? And I think there's a couple of reasons she kept the slippers. I think number one, the fact that the slippers in their dialogue and in their theme are part of the Pluto metaphor that was established way back when between the two of them, like way back when, like when they first met. And I think that like Pluto is their thing specifically. It's like I and May's thing. And I think that I didn't want to give that part of their story to So like selfishly,
Mm.
like that was just something between the two of them. So I think there's that. And I think number two, the shoes when May gifted them to her were low key a marriage proposal. like it was a promise of a future, right?
Yeah, I mean, May was like, this is something that couples should have
Forever.
forever.
Right.
Yeah.
Literally. So like low key a marriage proposal. And I think the only thing that's keeping I somewhat functioning at this stage is that like she has this small sliver of hope that when gets her memories back, she can get May eventually. So I think that it's like it represents hope. Cause like if gets her memories back, gonna realize she doesn't actually love May because like she sent I to break up with her. So like I
Yeah.
think that I's like, well, maybe if remembers on her own, like
Oh
I can
yeah, because
actually
she doesn't know that
right.
she's yeah.
Exactly. So I think that she's clinging to that hope that she'll have a chance to at least come clean to May with the truth and see what happens. And like, so I think it's like the slippers also represent the hope for a future, the future that she wants. It's just like, on pause, basically.
Mhm.
All right. All right, so after we get the shot of I playing with the shoes and staring at them, we do this like intercutting of scenes where the twins are wide awake in bed and like trying to go to sleep. So they're doing the same thing where they're both lying on their backs and staring at the ceiling, which shows us that they're on the same page emotionally. They're being tormented over the May stuff. And then we do this split screen where they finally like roll on their sides to go to sleep. And they do this simultaneously. And when they do it, they end up facing in opposite directions. So to me, it shows that like they're not on the same page when it comes to action. Like is on a quest for the truth about what happened between her and May and to get her missing memories. And then I is actively concealing the truth from And ultimately, this fork in the road situation is going to put them at odds once again, which is like how we get episode 11, basically.
Yeah, and it's pulling them further apart.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay, but before we get into the rest of episode 10, we have to take a minute to give some shout outs to our Chaos crew over on Patreon.
Woo!
Woo! Our Chaos crew members on the Big Gay Ride or Die tier and above are Amix Monzone _multi, Ariel W, Danny, L, Erica LC, Here for It, Jill L, Jasmine O, Cassie M, Kelsey S, Leona, Michelle G, Monet F, Moving Forward Leading, Nancy D, National _Bicon, Pooja S, and Regina B, and Wordjipichin. Woo! Thank you so much. And our featured Big Gay supporter members for this episode are LES, Morgan B or Morgane B, and Nicole P.
All
So thank
right.
you so much for
Thank
all of your
you.
support, and thank you to everybody who's watching and listening to this. It really means a lot just to have you like consume this podcast, because that's why we're here. We want to entertain and make people see queer media in a different way as well. Like maybe you miss some things. Maybe we did too. Feel free to let us know. We're
Yes.
not perfect. But yeah, just thank you for being here. If you can't join our Patreon and you're watching and listening to this, just come join the Discord. You can still chat with us there and talk to other people who love queer media. It's a great time, and the community is really building over there, and it's very fun to see. And I promise you'll find the people who love the same things as you, and that's all you can ask for.
Yeah. So come on over, make some friends, and keep giving us your comments and your thoughts and opinions. We appreciate each and every one of you.
We truly do.
We do.
Back to Pluto. Okay, so the next morning, Meemaw is knocking on Ai's door,
Or Mima.
and yeah, and she tells her that she got her pork skewers with less fat, just like she likes them. So like Meemaw's here trying to cheer Ai up,
Yeah.
but she doesn't get an answer, which makes her suspicious. And I feel like she should always be suspicious when it comes to these twins.
And particularly I, who's not okay, as we all know. And who's not okay.
They're never okay.
No.
It's never okay. Anyway. So Meemaw enters the room and sees that Ai is nowhere to be found. Like at all. Like the bed's made, no trace of her. She's gone. So Meemaw heads to room where she knocks and then just immediately comes in telling it's time to eat. Okay, so I find it very interesting that Meemaw gave Ai time to answer before coming into the room. But she just comes straight into room.
Or maybe that's their relationship. Who knows?
Yeah, I was like, could it be that she's closer to and feels more comfortable coming right in? Or is it that it's a subconscious way of giving Ai more freedom, whereas she feels like she always needs to hover over because she is the quote weak, fragile one.
That one. Definitely that one.
Yeah. Either way, isn't in her room, and this is really confusing Meemaw. Like, poor Meemaw, no one tells her anything.
But like, My question is, how the hell did everyone get out of the house without Mima noticing?
Yeah, I'm like, Mima, how much of a deep sleeper are you?
But like, yeah, like either like the twins left before the sun rose, which I's really not okay if she's waking up before the sun because she's not an early bird, as we've seen. So weird, number one. Or like, was Mima just like in her own little world? Did she like go out and like get
I
food
think,
for I so she's not
yeah.
there?
So she says, "I got pork skewer." Maybe she literally just went
What
out to get
bought them,
them for
right,
her,
versus
and then
making them.
both twins left while she was got like, what did they do? Wait for Mima to leave and just be like, "All right, now's the time, run."
Or it was just like some weird coincidence where they all missed each other because no one communicates.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that one.
That one. Yeah. But just interesting the way that played out.
Definitely.
Yeah.
All right, so we then cut to visiting Jan because she feels like something isn't right between May, I, and her.
You're correct, girl.
You trust your instincts,
Yes. Trust no one else.
and asks Jan to tell her everything that happened, and Jan's like, "It's what your sister said." What she said, which is
Remember,
clever for her part because she couldn't give anything away
also
by
Jan's like,
saying,
remember, your sister is the one lying to you. So
yeah,
Jan is throwing iron to the bus.
it's what happened is your sister's tale.
Yeah, what she said. That's what she said.
That's what she said. All right, but challenges her bullshit and tells her that they have been friends for so long and she knows her tell when she lies, which is that her eyebrow like twitches when she lies. Okay? So this is similar to May, but May does it when she's actually being truthful with her feelings.
Because it's infrequent. Like, can't lie.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was good. Way to call out May on her bullshit. Good job, Kaitlynn.
Always. She always needs to be called out on her
She does need
bullshit,
to be called out on her
honestly.
bullshit. I love her, but she really needs to be called out on her bullshit. Also,
Yeah.
I props to for calling Jan out for lying. Like, I'm glad had the
Yeah.
courage to confront Jan.
Seriously. You know what? Has the biggest pants out of everybody. She's the most direct.
For everyone's babying of like has got some courage, is what I'm saying. And I do wonder if her and I spoke last night, if would have come with this energy where she's like being direct about shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, props to for doing this.
Yeah, because she's taking the reins of her own life.
Yeah, she's being her own advocate because nobody else is, seemingly to her.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay, but back to the scene.
My God, Jan.
Instead of trying to play it off, Jan immediately confirms theory by looking away and bringing her hand up to her eyebrow and just like being overall weird
because
about it.
Her eyebrow was twitching.
Yeah.
So she's like, fuck. Yeah, whatever. Ooh.
And tells her that she doesn't know the deal between her and her sister, but she doesn't want her to lie to her. And like again, this is just like we talked about Pang. This is best friend, and it's a betrayal to her that Jan is lying for I.
Yes. Yes. Agreed.
And it's kind of like Jan is choosing I over her, which is biggest fear.
Yes. Oh, that's such a good point. I like that Jan does clarify that that's not her motivation, but yeah, that is definitely in mind. That is valid.
Yeah. And says she doesn't want to be left in the dark looking stupid, which I completely get. And like this is really what everyone is doing to her right now. Like they're not treating like a person who can think for herself.
Yes.
At
I agree.
all.
Yeah, in a minute, gonna be like, she says, like, let me decide in a minute. Because, like, to your point, everyone is taking her autonomy away from her. Because people are making assumptions on behalf. And we all know what happens when you assume. You make an ass out of you and me.
Yes. I always say that and then I can never finish it because I always say it to children. Yeah. So it doesn't really work as well. Anyway, that's not relevant. But yeah, like she just this whole scene is just like she really just wants her autonomy. and
Yeah.
she has every right to that.
Yeah.
And she's stuck being treated as a child when she has worked so hard to prove that she isn't fragile and can stand on her own.
Yes.
She has her own job, she has her own money, she has everything going for her just to prove to people, like, "You don't have to baby me. I can
Yes.
take care of myself." And
Oh.
now she's back in that place.
No, that is such a good point because, like, we've seen be infantilized consistently throughout the entire series. So, like, think about that from perspective. Who's in her like late 20s, early 30s, however old they are in the series, like, she's still being treated like a child who has no rights, or like where it's like mother knows best, just and like nobody's consulting So they're just like doing things on her behalf
Okay,
without letting her know they're doing it. And so it's like,
especially
seriously,
I, and we will
especially
get
I.
into that in a little bit about how I is just not giving anybody autonomy and just
Doing
thinks
deciding.
that her opinions and, like, decisions are godlike.
Yeah, she's more of a paternal figure, which is weird, but that's valid. But seriously though, like, imagine like what seriously the but like what does have to do to really prove that she's a strong independent woman? You know what I mean? Like, what does she have to do? Because nobody sees her that way. Like, and I understand, like, in this scenario, it's like people are worried about like her mental health state, which we should be, but like this was not the
Yeah,
way. But like,
but who's to
everyone
say that she couldn't handle all of it? What if she could
decided
process
she
it?
wanted to. Yeah, you're robbing her of her choice basically by not giving her the choice to be like, "Ooh, we could tell you
And without having
everything."
all the information, she can't make a choice.
Right. Excuse me. Exactly. They're removing her choice. Yeah, exactly, which is pretty fucked up, honestly.
It is.
Yeah.
And so Jan tells that she doesn't want her to look stupid, but it's hard to say. And if she means it's, like, hard to explain, that she is correct. Because, like,
My god.
how do you explain to your best friend that her girlfriend was in love with her sister before she met her? Then you held her hostage in your relationship until you sent your twin sister to break up with her on your wedding day. Then that sister fell in love with her, never completed that task, and wants to be with her. Like, that's a lot to take in.
Oh, and by the way, you were married and the dude died on the wedding night? Like, that's the accident you were
So
in?
you really dodged a bullet there.
You did dodge some bullets, you did, without realizing it, but oh my god, your life is a series of landmines, like, damn,
What's gonna happen next?
explosions.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So Jan also tells her that it's better if her memories come back first. But that really sucks because knows she's forgetting really important things and no one will let her in on what they are. I feel so frustrated for her because
Listen,
she's like,
justice
there
for
is
whom?
something there. I deserved, like, this is my life. I want to know. People tell me what the hell is going on.
And preach and preach. And then in this conversation is going to bring up the logical thing that everyone's fucking forgetting, which is like, what if they never come back? You're just going to keep me in the dark my
Yeah.
whole life, and like I'll never know what actually happens. Exactly. Like, and she's like,
Yeah.
what if I'm supposed to say stupid me or ignorant of this forever? Like, right, like that is a possibility nobody is really addressing. It's like,
No, they think, it's just a mirror, like, everything comes and that's something, like, I'm kind of frustrated with Pluto in general because they're like, "Oh, May's eyesight's gonna come back." It does. Memories are gonna come back. It does. Sometimes it does not happen.
right. Yeah.
Then, like, we're just assuming things and, like, "Oh, luckily it worked out," but
No,
there's
seriously.
always that real possibility that it will not happen. You can
Yeah.
have hope, but hopes are crushed sometimes.
Yes, but, like, also, again, it's life. It's life, and we're just like, everyone ignores in this whole like, episode, like, the whole show, like, we always forget about, like, the person. Like we're like
Because Oom's not a person.
the characters treat like she's a plot device. And I like that here's being like, I'm a fucking person with my own wants and needs and opinions about my own fucking life. And I props to Jan for actually being a ride or die in the scene and like actually like here like having this conversation with and like taking Oom's side because like everyone just ignores what wants all the time, like constantly. It's so
Yeah.
frustrating. Like no wonder she has mental health problems. Like poor must have felt so like ignored and small her entire life. Like I feel so bad for Ugh.
Yeah, and then, like, Jan tells her that she doesn't wanna lie to her, but she doesn't think that she can handle the truth. And
Well,
again, like, that's not
she
making
says not
things
think. She's like, I'm afraid, which is irrational. Like it's a feeling. She's like, I feel fear of you finding out the truth before you're ready. Which is it's valid. Honestly, that is valid. It is valid to feel that fear for but like it should be Oom's decision about what happens, not like us practicing paternal medicine when none of our doctors. And paternal medicine is when you're like, I'm the doctor, I say this, therefore we do this, versus like shared decision making, which is like the newer medical model where you like bring the patient in and you're like, okay, you are ultimately the one going through this and ultimately have your autonomy. So, like, what do you want to happen? So
yeah.
maybe Chow wrote this like way back. I mean, like, again, I don't know the medical models in like uh Thailand, so I'm not sure shared
Mhm.
decision making
Yeah.
if that's part of medicine or if it is more paternalistic, where like the doctor says something, therefore that happens, kind of thing. So like again, we were
Yeah, that's
missing the
fair.
scenes with like the neurologist who came in, assessed and was like, she lost a pretty significant portion of her memories because of trauma. So and like had this conversation where they're like, I recommend you do XYZ because like it could be coming from that, and then like fuck that doctor, kind of thing. But anyway, like this is why it really is important to like have conversation, like and like honestly, like really can't handle it. Like she doesn't handle it well, like honestly, but like it's her life at the end of the day, and like that's something as somebody who practices in medicine that can be really frustrating when like I don't know, part of my teams where we're like, we can't treat this. You're gonna need an amputation to treat it. And people are like, it's my foot. I don't want to lose my foot. And it's like, okay, but like we can try the antibiotics, but like it's not gonna cure it. You're gonna end up right back here a couple months, and like you're just delaying the inevitable. But it's like, and it's frustrating for me being like, I know I can't cure this, but like you don't want to lose your limb, but like you're to cure it, you have to lose your limb. But like it's the patient's life, and they're like, no, I want to try this one ditch effort, like again, and
Mm.
every time they come back, you're like, we have to cut the foot off. Like, is their life though at the end of the day? And it's like that's something I teach my I teach a lot. I teach students and residents. I'm always like, listen, you can have the best plan in the world for your patient, but like ultimately it's their choice because it's their life. So like if they say no, like that's it. Like all you can do is offer to help, but like ultimately it's like it's up to really what should happen. And like everybody keeps forgetting that it's up to really. Also, the
Yeah, and
internet
the way
exists. She could just look the shit up. Like we're all forgetting. She could look it up if she really was
yes,
determined.
there's that. And
We
then
never
it's
forget that.
also the way that Jan says that she's afraid she doesn't think that she can handle the truth. Like, that's not making things better because it's gonna make more anxious about
Totally.
what her life is. Like, what is she not knowing now? Like, it's just making the thoughts worse.
Yeah, I mean, but again, like if we were actually doing like, I mean, Jan's never been in this position before. Let's be honest. Like, who was ever in this position and knows how they're going to handle it, right? Like, Jan could have been like, "Look, it's a lot. The memories you lost are a lot. I just, I'm worried you won't be able to handle it. Like, if you're ready, I will tell you, but like, think it over. Like it's going to be a lot. It's not all good. Some of it's bad. Like, it's a lot. The stuff that's missing from your memory, kind of thing. Like." Cause like it is like imagine, but then like imagine like the risk for Jan too. Like Jan, what if she tells the truth and then flips out and is like, we're not friends anymore. You know what I mean? Like like because she's worried can't handle it. What if she takes it out on Jan? Like, and it's like,
Yeah.
like there's risks to telling her, honestly, because like her life's fucked up and crazy. And that's like, and Jan knows the truth. Jan's like, I know you're not gonna care about Paul. I think you're gonna care about the Mason. Like, Jan actually knows the best, and she's like, okay, we're gonna tell you the truth about Meg, and you're gonna flip the fuck out. Which she does. So,
Yes.
it's, Jan's not wrong. It's just like, it should be choice, is just all I'm saying.
It should be.
Right.
Yeah.
So, like, it's coming from a place of love, but like, here's crying for help. Like, and I'm glad that Jan is the one that she went to, because Jan was willing to hear her out. Where
Yeah.
nobody else, I
That's
feel
true.
like, would have. I would be worried that Mima and I would just, like, double down on the lying if it was, like,
Oh, they
them,
would.
you know?
They definitely would.
And May would, I don't know, like, my question is, what if came to May? I was like, listen, bitch, like, something's going on. Fucking tell me the truth. Do you think May, if she was presented with that, would have come clean? Because May is desperate to get I back.
Well, part of me is wondering if she just turns into I now when around and just flees.
That's also valid. Yeah. Would May evade, or would May engage with and be like, I'm in love with your sister? Because May doesn't care about
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
May doesn't care about really.
She's really not a person to her.
Right. May cares the least. And so, like, would May have, and at the end of the show, May is just like, I don't want to hurt you, because that hurts like, she literally doesn't care about like, she does not care. So I would almost be like, I feel like if would have went to May now and been like, May, something weird's going on, like, tell me, May would tell her. Like, I think May probably would have, and been, like, cold about it. The way Jan is more like, listen, I'm worried about you as a person. So I'm really glad she's having the conversation with Jan out of literally anybody else. Because I feel like they either would have lied, or, like, May would have been a bitch about it. Like, honestly.
Yeah. That's valid. May can be bitchy.
Well, because May's upset with because, like, in May's mind, she could compartmentalize this and be like, you took I away from me. Like, you tried to give me her, and then you took her away from me. Like, May has a lot of reasons to be angry towards because held her hostage in their relationship.
Yeah,
so, like,
no, that was not okay.
No, it was not okay. Like, did some crazy shit, like, way back when. So, like, was never mentally 100% stable. Like, May had, had trauma before the accident, honestly, that we never dealt with. So, like, I think May justifiably has a lot of anger towards and, like, if she had to be the one with the conversation, it would have been fiery and, like, not good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, like, I think would have been worse off than, like, Jan, who is willing to hear her out and would have, I think, for all of her aloofness and stuff, I think Jan would have been gentle with this, more gentler in this conversation than anybody else who would have been willing to be truthful, she would have had to back into a corner to get her to be like, fucking tell me,
Yeah. You'd be literally threaten her to tell her the truth.
And then I don't know what Mima would, I don't know what, like, what would have to do to get Mima to come clean. Like, how extreme would have to be to, like, get Mima to be like, okay, fine.
She would have to be like, she would have to, like, threaten her life or
something.
Right,
I was just thinking that. I'm like, would have to be actively suicidal. And then maybe, like, which, like, oh my God.
And then maybe she'll tell
And then maybe she'll tell the truth.
Still flip a coin.
The jury's out. Yeah, anyway.
I think we're going to make that the challenge for this episode.
I think so, too.
I'm say it now. Because, God, I love that. How would each person react if went to them and told them to tell her
the truth? Yeah. So, like, Mima, and May, how would they have reacted to this request? Because doesn't know anybody else. Poor
But apparently she knew Kasol too. What if she went to Kasol was just like, hey, dude, what do you know?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Bonus Kasol. What would Kasol have done? He would have butchered it and then was good at the same time. So, like, let us know how you think that went down. Because he would have been on both scales.
That'd actually be hilarious.
It would actually be kind of funny.
He would be, like, tripping up at the beginning, being like, what would I say? I don't know. And then
I was really in love with her. Like, so in love with her. Like, she cried to me for hours. You know what I mean? And then she, like, cried like you're doing right now. And then he would, you know what I mean? And then he'd be like, but then, like, he would smooth it over at the end with just all this wisdom shit. And then she'd be like, have the epiphany. Like, yeah, he would do something like that. But I think Kasol would have heard her out and listened and, like, actually told her, like Jan. But he would have butchered it and then been really wise about it. What if for some reason she went to bed? Just, talking. Oh my God. No emotion. He would have been like some combination between like Kasol and like May, where he's just telling her facts, like detached and emotionlessly.
And like she gets no comfort
Like
whatsoever.
zero. No comfort whatsoever. She's like on the floor bawling, and he's just like,
Roll
okay,
away.
bye, and he like leaves her there. Like, the
But
Ben
you know what?
that we canonically see in the series is not very
Yes.
emotional. That's where we're getting this from.
But Ben, at least is seeing you as a person while you're in your wheelchair.
Yeah, I think
You're not invisible.
doesn't discriminate the way I clearly does in the series. But, oh my god, GMMTV. You dropped the ball in some aspects of the series, and then in others, you nailed it. That was pretty fun.
We know you didn't mean to.
No, you definitely didn't mean to, but it reads that way. You can read it that way, is the thing.
Yeah.
And we are going to, because it's there.
If there's something to read into, we will.
We will. That's our job.
That literally is our job.
That's literally our job.
We read into things too much sometimes. But it's okay, because
That's
that's
art.
us.
That's what art is
Yeah.
for. You're supposed to read into it.
Okay, but back to this scene.
Yes.
Steps closer to Jan slowly, and the way that she steps forward, I feel like has the energy of, I'm not taking this bullshit.
Yes.
And basically says to let her decide whether or not she can handle it.
Yeah, that's
And
my
this
girl.
goes back to like, she just wants her autonomy. That's the bottom line.
Yes, we love
Let
you.
me decide.
Yes. Justice for
And Jan resigns herself, and she's like, fine. Jan gives in and agrees to tell everything, but tells her to listen closely. Because, like, she's going to need all the details. And there's a lot.
And they're not all good.
No.
No.
There's a lot to know, though. And Jan starts by saying that this is about I, May, and her. And I find this funny because this book ends this scene, and we only, so like from where like, I feel like something's going on with the three of us, and Jan's like, this is about the three of you. Like,
yeah,
no
that is
shit,
funny.
I knew that. And like, we only see get told what she knows.
Here's the deal, though. Like, okay, so in this episode, who learned the truth? Kasol, like the full truth. Now, So once this happens, I is officially the last person to know what the fuck is going on between her, and May. Like, I is officially the last person
Yes.
to know this. And that fact will never cease to amaze me, that I is literally the last person.
And I just want to point out that she still doesn't know everything at the end of this episode.
She doesn't. I don't think she ever knows the full truth, honestly. I don't think May ever tells her, let's be honest.
She's not as curious as her sister, apparently. It was like, tell me everything.
No, I was like, I want my girlfriend back. She's too love struck.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I.
Speaking of a girlfriend.
Oh my god. Oof. Talk about some clever cinematography and symbolism is this next scene.
Yeah. All right, so we cut to May's house, and it looks like May is reading her own journal or something. I don't know, I might be forgetting something. And as she turns the page, we see that she saved the rose that I brought to her when she first met Ploy. So like that scene where I comes in with a singular rose, and she oversees Ploy giving this entire bouquet of roses to May. Like, way to not 100 times up her.
Yeah.
And she's like, who is this bitch taking my girl? So that scene, that's where that rose is from. And like the rose meant so much to May that she wanted to keep it forever. Like this, she could have all the roses from Floyd, but she didn't save those roses. It's because it's I that means the world. And May traces the rose with her fingers, and I feel like she's just remembering everything about I and just sitting in those feelings, and like she's upset. Like she wants her back.
Yeah. So I want to talk about this for a second. So you brought this up also. So like in way back when. So you're right. I gave her the rose, the single red rose. And then we had another scene later either in that same episode or in the episode right after that, where you had May tending to the rose when it was alive. Remember? And she was like smelling it, and the thorn pricked her finger because foreshadowing, and like, but she was caring for it. And you brought up the fact that this rose at that stage symbolized their relationship and how I'm sorry, Um's not here. How May was like putting all of her love into this relationship because she cherished it, right? And that's what she was doing with the rose. And roses throughout the show have symbolized I and May's relationship. So here we have the rose in a wilted, dried out state. Okay. It's in a state of arrested development. Okay. It's not growing. It's not really decaying anymore because you can preserve flowers if you dry them out. So it's like arrested in this like state. Okay. That is their relationship. It's kind of like in limbo where it's like kind of over, but maybe not. But like it's not moving forward or backwards. It's just like stuck. Okay. And like May has been going over this in her brain since I ditched her, right? And she's like, why did I do this? Why did I give our memories away? Whatever, blah, blah, blah. But she still cherishes the relationship, even in the state of arrested development. And so I think to May here, when you watch her in the scene, she's like tracing the stem of the rose. She's still cherishing it and like tending to it. So I think that May, like I, still clings to the hope that their relationship will move out of this state of arrest development in the future and move forward again. So it's like a hope metaphor at this point. The first rose that I gave her, this tangible piece of proof that like I cared about her, kind of thing.
Yeah, it's interesting that we don't see her open right up to this page either. Like she has to turn it to get to the flower,
Well, I
to the
think
rose.
that's how
So like
you preserve the flowers. You have to put weight. So she has it in this
yeah,
book to preserve it.
but like she could have opened like right to the
If she
page.
was smart, yes. I don't know
Yeah,
why
but
she
I
didn't.
just mean like in this scene, it's like
Yeah.
we have to turn a
Hmm.
page to get
That's
back
true.
to the
That's true.
relationship.
We have to we have to peel back the onion of deception to get to the relationship, if you will. If we're going with the metaphor, you know.
Yeah, we gotta go right down to the last layer.
It's the core is where the relationship lies. So many layers.
Yeah, so do you go ahead. Go
Okay.
ahead, just talk about it.
So I absolutely love this transition that happens here. So from this scene with May to the scene with I. So like in the scene with May, she's touching the stem of the rose, like the she's tracing the rose and she's tracing it from top to bottom. Okay. And then when we cut to I has a new rose that's alive and she's tracing the stem from bottom to top, which I really love that transition because like just the way your eye moves is brilliant, and I love that. Which the director of Pluto is very consistent about using lines in the composition to draw your eye and the movement, and I just absolutely love that. But also, I love the fact that we go from May caressing the essentially like first rose I gave her to I caressing a new rose. Okay, so like again, like she's still clinging to her love for May because here's one rose, another rose. So to me, I think that is trying to communicate to us and like that I is still holding out hope for their relationship and like she has a live rose. Why would she give her a dead rose? But like but also why are you here? Because you are the one that set these rules about staying away from May and then immediately break them. Like I is the one who set these rules. Like to your point,
Yeah.
without informing anyone and then she breaks them. Why are you here? Really?
Because I think it's her like one last thing before like she gives her up forever, but she like wants to leave something for her just as a memory.
I feel like
Needs closure.
I would have kept leaving roses at the door. I
You know
don't think
what?
this was the
Maybe.
last time she was planning on doing this. I think she was gonna keep doing this, to be honest. Be like, I'm still here. But like, girl, you're the one that like this made no sense. I think I is just like not okay. That's all I got.
She's not
No,
at
but like
all.
she breaks her
Um,
own rule she set for everybody else. Like, girl.
I mean, okay, so in here, after she feels up the rose, she takes a deep breath And I feel like that's just her resigning herself to the fact that she can't give it to May directly.
Correct.
And it's probably the last connection she will ever have to her. And she then lays the rose right in front of May's door. Okay. And now that I'm like really thinking about this, I want to talk about this for a second.
Do it.
Because does she expect May to get this rose? Or is this more like an offering situation where she just lays it there and like this is the shrine to May?
That's valid. Or is it for the maid? 'Cause
No, okay, so
the
but
maid
here's the
can
thing,
see.
if she wants May to get this, if I still thinks that May is blind, so unless the maid picked it up and brought it inside, May probably would have just stepped on it when leaving.
Or walked past it because it's sitting on a little shelf. She would have never came into contact with that if
Yeah.
unless the maid picks it up, and then but the maid what if the maid's like, "Oh, it's for me,"
At
and
the
then May
time
never
of
gets it.
writing this, of taking notes, I thought it was in front of the door.
I think it's on like a little ledge,
Yeah.
but that's okay. Like, yeah, no, it's a valid point. Is this like a Buddhist thing where this is like an offering because to the
Yeah.
dead relationship? Definitely, definitely could be.
And then we get this really cool shot of I through the gate, and it's just I love how it
It's
lines
so
up,
good.
and they play with this a lot of just the framing of
Yes. Well, because like, look at the way that like, if you look at the ironwork on the gate, it kinda looks like a vine, like a rose, like Ai is trapped
mhm,
in, like, the rose vines, like,
that's
trapped in
cool.
their love and can't move on, really, even though, like, she needs everybody else around her to move on, like, she's trapped in it still, so there's also that.
Yeah, and very trapped.
Yes.
So, as I lays down the rose, May conveniently passes by as I looks through the gate, and May turns her head to look at I. And I says May's name before she freaks out and tries to escape because she can't see her. Well, I still think she can't see her, but she was never supposed to be this close to May while dropping this rose off, so you
Correct.
know. Um, but since May can see now, she's able to see that I is trying to run away and she goes after her. And as I gets on her motorcycle, May comes running out and does the smart thing,
Yes.
which
Which is
is taking I's keys away.
yes! Okay, but I love this because, like, yes, we've said it a million times. I wish May would have come clean with the truth, but I do love this because, like, the way I puts it together is like the precision with which May takes the keys, and she's like, "Fuck you, I," and then like stares her in the eye, and I was like, "Oh fuck, this bitch can see me." Like, what a shocker. Okay, to be like, "Oh fuck," like imagine being I in that scene. Like, that's great. Like for her to be like, this is the last thing I thought was gonna happen, you know what I mean? Like, wow, like, what a reveal.
Yeah, like there's so many things. Like, so first, May had to be able to see her to come after her.
Correct.
Two, like, and it's just like building up. Like, you can't. You could be like, oh, maybe she hurt her. Maybe it's like, there's a lot of things like we could maybe. Uh, two, like, yeah, she got those keys very quickly.
But, like, that's the
Uh,
first thing Ai's gonna recognize because she didn't know May was following her. She was just getting on
Yeah,
the bike and, like, she was focused on that, and then all of a sudden the keys get taken away from her. That's her first clue, and she's like, "Oh, fuck." Like, the accuracy of that is, like, like, "Whoa." And then she's staring at her in the eyes, and then would have to put
yeah.
together, "She ran after me." Like, it's in that order that she would put that together, like,
But then
damn.
also, like, as she's like staring at May in shock, like she slowly gets off her bike and walks around it to meet May where she is, and May follows I with her eyes, and like that's the final confirmation to I that May can see now because she's like literally moving with her.
And staring at her. She's actually making direct eye contact with her, with I, and I never put together all the times that May made direct eye contact with her until
Yes,
now. So this is shocking to I, not to us.
only I.
Mhm. Only you, I, could have been fooled by this for so long.
Only you.
Only you.
Only you.
I can't
All
sing the
right.
rest of it because I don't know if you guys are going to be together forever, let's be honest.
Sorry, that got me. All right. So I questions May about if she can see, and May responds that she told her that she talks to her sister about everything, and then says, "Didn't she tell you? Or were you too busy thinking of a way to leave me?"
Girl, don't throw under the bus for your fuck shit. Again, the way she doesn't care about she's like, let me sow some seeds of deception between the sisters.
Yeah, and it's just like, so yeah, like, oh, your sister knew. She didn't tell you?
Girl, you've been slowly getting your eyesight back for months.
Bitch move.
I Girl, like the way she just like beats down on pisses me off sometimes. I understand she's mad at her, but like, girl, like, girl, what the fuck?
Also, like, she keeps doing this. We keep answering a question with a question, which is not
Yes,
an answer.
also that, yeah, the slippery eel that is May when she's trying to answer questions. It's the lawyer in her that's just like,
Yes, it's Lawyer May.
Lawyer May.
And it irks me sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Because it's not helpful. It's not healthy behavior in a human relationship. Okay, as a lawyer, sure, you're doing your thing, but like,
yes,
she's trying to have an honest conversation with you, and you're like, it's your sister's fault. It's like, girl, it is your fault for lying to Ayun for like months.
I have a question for everyone listening, watching this. Have you ever dated a lawyer? Are they like this? Like, do you have to watch yourself because lawyers can be really, really good liars?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. I have never dated a
Because
lawyer.
I feel like I would be so paranoid because like they literally have to like defend people even if they know they did wrong.
I mean, but you can say that about anybody. You'd be like, oh, have you dated an actor? Did they ever pretend to be another person around you and you didn't know because they're so good at acting? Like,
I feel like lawyers are another this lawyer is another level.
this lawyer is something else. I'll say that. She's something else. I would say May is not your typical lawyer, I would hope.
Yeah, I hope not.
I hope not.
But she
Anyway.
finally does what we've been asking her to do. And May says, "Didn't she okay, hold on.
She calls her name. That's what we're waiting for.
Yeah. Yeah, didn't you say we'd be happy together forever? Ayun?"
Fucking finally, bitch. Oh, but
Yeah,
I'm so sad.
finally.
That's when I starts crying. My poor baby.
Yeah.
This is not how I wanted you to tell her because now I'm sad.
Yeah, no, the best time would have been in that damn bathroom.
Seriously.
After Chloe's restaurant opening. Just
Okay, that would have
No,
been a
no,
better time.
I'm sorry.
On the camper van when she's telling you she loves you and gives you the Pluto necklace and you're staring her in her eyes, you could have told her her name.
I'm gonna say this in a little bit, in a couple in a little bit, but I so desperately, Theora, I so need to hear May say, "I love you too,
I
Ayun."
know, seriously.
I love you. Why are we not saying "I love you too" ever?
I know. Yeah, in the scene, you're right. I don't know why. I don't know. It's I is like
I just be like, "Do you not love her?"
I is not okay in the scene either, even as it goes on. So like, I don't know. Maybe it wouldn't register. But yeah, no. May does not verbally tell I love you too.
She just leaves her hanging.
She does
Anyway,
leave
we'll
her
get
hanging.
there.
It's kind of fucked.
It's messed up. She's literally burying her soul. Oh, anyway.
Well, I does that all the time, and then May again is just the slippery eel.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway,
Scene. Back to the scene. I asked when she found out. And again, we get Lawyer May who responds with a question. And she asks if she told her would she come back if she told her?
well, that's
And
like wait, hold on. That's basically to be fair to May. Because remember, May is also not in a good place right now. Because May, we've seen her be super desperate to try to figure out what the fuck happened. She's upset, understandably, because like I left her, I ghosted her and said nothing, and then gave all her memories to Even though the scenario is insane, and we've been over that a million times, but like May is upset. And what May is saying by saying that is like, even if I told you, what the fuck would it matter because you left me? That's what May is really saying. Which, like, she's the scorned ex-girlfriend right now. That's how she feels. She feels like the scorned ex-girlfriend. She's like, you ghosted me without telling me anything. If I told you the truth now, like, would it even matter? Because, like, you left me without telling me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, basically they're, without like saying it, they're like, you lied to me, I lied to you. We're like, what does it matter now? We're not together. Like, that's what she's saying. Which, like,
Yeah,
she's upset. I get that.
that's fine.
You have every reason
Fine.
to be upset with May in this conversation, but like, they're both fucked up. Like, is the thing.
Yeah,
But anyway,
fine.
sorry.
You're good. All right. So I stops and looks away because she doesn't think that she can be with May. Well,
Yes.
I says that she doesn't deserve to be with May.
Right.
But you do, I.
You guys are made for each other because you're both terrible.
Yeah.
If the show proves anything, you guys are birds of a feather in some aspects.
um yeah, so I says that loves May, but like that really doesn't matter when
To
May
May.
does not love her back.
May does not care
Like
about
it
them.
doesn't matter in general. Like in general, it does not matter that loves May if May does not love her back. You cannot force them into a relationship. Like I can try to sacrifice May for all she wants, but she can't force that relationship to stay intact.
Correct. No.
That is just making not letting two people have autonomy.
Agreed.
But I is most worried about the fact that she thinks that she is the reason May is blind. And May bluntly addresses that elephant in the room, which gets I's attention. And I responds by asking, "You knew that too?" And
Or I.
I is all of us watching this show right now. Yeah.
Like the whole show.
Because what doesn't May know?
Right,
What
exactly.
doesn't she know?
She
She knows everything.
She knows everything. Wait, no, there's one piece of information she doesn't know, and we'll get her reaction to it in a second when I explains. But like, she knows everything except one piece of information that I is gonna tell her in this scene. But yeah.
But I'm just laughing because there's something else I's gonna find out in a second. Um,
Or I.
May confirms that she did, and that she talked to Kasol. And like, poor I isn't even given a moment to process anything before she learns that May knew something else. Because like, May knows Kasol.
Yeah. Also, like, again, I has to now at some point process the fact that, oh, my friends knew all this shit and didn't fucking tell me. Well, like, okay, well, here's the deal. You're doing that to right now. I understand it's out of
Yeah.
love, but like, she's gonna have to grapple with the fact that all of her friends did the same shit to her for much longer periods of time, and not really with a good reason, to be honest. Like Pang keeping all this shit from like, why? What was Pang's motivation for not telling she's wrapped in her girlfriend and her lesbianism and forgot? Like, that's not a reason, but like, you know what I mean? I feel like them
Yeah.
keeping shit from was worse because there was actually no reason for it. Like, there was no good reason. There wasn't out of love that nobody told the truth, really.
No, seriously.
You know
It was
what I
just
mean?
out of neglect.
You know what I mean? It's kind of super fucked that nobody told her. Like Jan, I feel like Jan had a good reason because she's like, I'm in it for but like, and I'm fulfilling wish or whatever, but like, nobody else had that, okay? Because everybody forgets about except Jan. So like, you're getting a taste of she's getting a taste for her own medicine in the scene is all I'm saying, but I feel like she's so wrapped up in her guilt she's not even capable of processing that, but like, eventually she's gonna have to process that fact that her friends lied to her.
You know, they all need to process this shit in therapy.
Yes, we all need group therapy.
Oh, could you imagine group therapy with this group?
No. Well, and May would not be forthcoming with actual information during therapy, so she's like a therapist's worst nightmare, to be honest.
Watch her be the best one at therapy.
I feel like she'd be terrible at it.
No, she would be, but like watch her be the best one.
I think
It'd be
I would
hilarious.
actually be pretty good. I think Pang would be the best We had to rank them.
Yeah.
Because Pang went and did her own therapy on her own. So I feel like Pang would be really good. Jan probably second, because Jan's an open book. Jan would probably like have her therapist on speed dial and like just check in voluntarily. Like I feel like that's Jan.
Yeah.
That's Jan. She'd be like, I'll give you free fortune telling readings. Like, and they're like besties. She's besties with her therapist. That's her. I feel like would come to the therapist when she's at her rock bottom and be truthful, and then when she wasn't at rock bottom, wouldn't be truthful because that's
Yeah,
guy's
that's fair.
personality. Mima would like be
Never.
defensive, and then like May would just lie. May would just lie to
Yeah.
the therapist or not show up.
That's fair.
I feel like that's
That's a good read for
you
everybody.
know who might be really good at therapy and who really needs it? Ton.
Oh, yeah, Tan's like, "Can we please
Can we
just go
please
over
talk
the
about
fact
my
that
day?
May asked me to do this thing
Can we
today?"
please talk about my day? Yeah.
Like, Tan needs to learn how to set boundaries with me.
Correct. He needs, yeah, his therapist is failing at coaching him to set boundaries with his cousin. Yeah. I feel like Ton needs somebody to unburden his life to, and like he would benefit from a therapist and would engage. And the poor therapist would then need a therapist from dealing with Ton in his life.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Anyway.
So that's how everybody would do in therapy. Also, let us know in the comments, bonus for fun. How would all the characters do in therapy? Let us know.
I'm just picturing it. Anyway.
Yeah.
So I starts crying because this is a lot. A lot. And not only is she processing this info, but she's still feeling extremely guilty. And I start saying that it's not just that she thinks she is the reason. She didn't just give Kasol the idea, but she actually helped him.
Yes.
And like, I mean, she technically did assist him, but still it's indirect.
It is.
And
like,
I can
May's
yeah.
reaction when she hears that is like, this is the one piece of information May did not know, is that like I helped him. Because I think when they had the conversation with Kasol, he didn't mention this part. Because if you watch May, she looks shocked when she hears this.
Yeah.
This is new.
And I continues breaking down harder, and the way that she emphasizes things when she is crying, like, just hurts my heart. Like, especially
acting.
the way she says, "I helped him.
Oh my God,
I
no.
helped him do it."
She feels so, she sounds so broken. Like, good
Yeah.
acting in this scene. Ugh.
Yeah.
Such good
And
acting.
to your point, May looks away and seems a bit
Uh-huh.
surprised by
Yeah.
this, and seems like she's trying to do some processing on
Uh-huh.
of her own.
But how does it
But
feel, May? How does it feel to not know something? How does it feel, bitch? This is not a May hate podcast. I'm just like, girl, this has been your MO for everybody else in the
she
show.
needs to be called out on
She
some
does.
shit, though,
How does it
because she
feel?
does some really problematic,
Just some fucked up shit.
messed up shit.
She does. How does it feel? Does it feel good?
Says
See
the
that
beginning. Oh my god. Anyway,
we could have avoided all of this by telling the truth. That's all I'm saying. This is a cautionary tale about what happens when you lie and don't talk to your friends.
it's a cautionary tale.
It is a cautionary tale.
of
Nobody
why you
aspires
shouldn't
for this.
lie, and you need to talk to your friends. Anyway, but as I is bent over crying, May gets her attention by putting her hand on I's shoulder to comfort her. And it's like May's way of non-verbally telling I that it's okay.
I just want to say something real quick, like about that little moment, because it's real quick. But one thing I do like about the scene is that, to your point, May comforts I. Like, I is hunched over, like bawling uncontrollably, and in that scene, when after I just says like, "Oh, I helped him do it. I helped him do it," she like like almost like halfway collapses. And if you watch May when she processes that really quickly, this new information, she very quickly tries to hold back her own emotions and put on this strong face, because I think May is trying to be strong for I in this scene, because I's clearly the most emotionally out of it in this scene. Okay. And I like that May tries to be strong for her. And she does, to your point, she touches her arm. Like, physical affection is important to I. So she tries to ground I. And like, she gives her words of reassurance, like, in a minute. So like, I like that May tries to be strong for I in this scene, because
yeah.
is not strong in this scene, and I is always the strong one for everybody else. So I like that May reciprocates that, even though this is a fucked up situation. Like she does try to be. You watch her put herself together to be strong for I, and I appreciate that from May in the scene.
Yeah, that is very fair because she really does work hard to be there for her.
Yeah, because like hearing that I facilitated her blindness has to fucking hurt. You know what I mean? From May's point of view, like she doesn't have all the details, but
Yeah.
like hearing that and seeing I's reaction, like would lend you to think, oh, she's being on, like this is honest and sincere, you know, and like fuck, like, and then May has to put herself together in 2 seconds because I is falling apart. You know, that's a lot.
Mhm. And, like, the way that she's saying, like, I helped him do it,"
Yeah.
like, it that could mean
Right,
anything.
that could literally mean anything. I literally, yeah, exactly. Like May is still in the dark,
And
but
it's
like,
definitely not what you actually did because
no,
you literally did not do that much.
no, you just
You did not
covered.
tell him to go blind her.
Correct. You just covered for him at work.
Yes. Alright, so I stands up and tells May that she never wanted to hand her back to but how could she be with May when she caused her blindness? And really the main issue here is that I keeps making decisions for other people.
Correct.
Like she keeps doing what she thinks is best in but in return is not treating the other people in the situation like actual people with their own thoughts and feelings.
Correct.
Like I am so glad that we are finally communicating now, but so much more needs to be said and discussed. Like, so much.
Yeah. No, I agree. You're right. I does do that. I didn't put that together really till this episode, but I does practice paternalism where she just like unilaterally decides what's best for people and just does it. And like she's good intention. We're not saying May like I is like evil or anything like that. It's just like she does have a habit of doing that very consistently.
Yeah, and she thinks it's just like out of sacrifice for herself. She's like, as long
Correct.
as I'm sacrificing, it's the best decision for everybody.
Yeah, because her thing is like she's like, if you love someone, you gotta learn to let them go, which is like true. But then I were in the situation because you clearly couldn't let May go, and like we're at her house, like you know what I mean. So it's like I
Yeah.
can't even stick to her own decisions sometimes, and it's like, girl, autonomy is important. Is the probably the main message of this episode in particular.
Yes.
It's a cautionary tale.
Hashtag autonomy is important.
Autonomy is important.
All right. So May looks away as she becomes emotional, but she knows that if she doesn't compose herself, then I might shut down and try to run away again.
Absolutely.
I mean, not that she actually could because May still has the keys.
She could literally run and like leave the bike.
Yeah. So May grabs Ai's hands while Ai is still crying and tells her not to forget that she is the one who ruined her friend's life and responsible for his mom's death. And like that's the other aspect here. Like May knows how Ai is feeling because she feels just as guilty about everything that happened. And I says, "No, May." And then tells her that she knows her well and knows that she didn't mean to. And like I is beating herself up for doing something similar to what May did, which is indirect responsibility for a terrible outcome. And I needs to listen to what numerous therapists have tried to get me to learn,
Okay. Which is
which is which is to talk to yourself like a friend. Because everything that she is saying to May right now, she has to take note and give herself the same leeway.
yeah.
Because I is not a terrible person, and she never meant for this to happen.
No, not at all. Yeah, you're right. All of everything I is saying could easily be said by May right back to I, which she does say. She's like, I also knew you, I. But then she
Yeah.
doesn't follow up with like, you're not a terrible person, I. She just like pivots.
Yeah. Because then she's stuck saying that she's not a terrible person. So if she turns out to be a terrible person, then she said it. And like, so lawyer May is like, but you might be one day. So
She's
I'm
like, yeah, I
not.
can't find myself liable in this conversation. It's ridiculous. It's true. The way they wrote her dialogue is really like it's like slippery lawyery, even in like
Yeah,
heartfelt moments, which is really funny. I didn't pick that up actually. That's kind of funny. You can read it that way. It's not the
yeah.
intention in the scene, but like you can read it that way.
Well, yeah, because she doesn't say she loves her anyway.
I
Uh,
know, May. What the
so
hell?
May tries to get I to realize that she's not a terrible person by telling her that she knows her too, and if she could go back in time, she knows that she wouldn't have done it. And like this would have been a whole other situation if I was like, actually, I would have.
Well, okay. So May says like if you had known back then that we were gonna fall in love, would you have done this? Like, would you have hurt me? So, like, May does say we fell in love. So there's that. She does say that.
That okay, fine, fine.
But
The
you're right.
bare
You're right. She
minimum.
doesn't say it back immediately when I says it, which is fucked up. Because I need you to say it, girl, and say her name.
Say my name, say my
She needs
name.
you to say I love you, not So I also need that for my sanity. Please and
I
thank you.
need it so bad. Anyway, this is too much for I, and
It is.
the guilt is still eating at her. And she probably feels even worse because May is being so forgiving with her
Yes.
when I feels like she is the worst person in the world. So I continues to cry harder as May cradles I's head with her hand, and I leans her head on May. And after I stands back up, May talks about how if they knew that's when they say, like, they fall in love, they wouldn't have hurt each other. And now they are both crying a lot because this is a lot.
Yeah, it is. I'm sorry, the way I just breaks down and says May
Yeah.
after that, it's just like that's what gets to May. It's like the way I is so hurt, and you could hear it in her voice because the actor that plays Ioun is a phenomenal actor. And like you can like hear how and like her anguish, like goddamn, and like that gets to May, like like how hurt I is.
Yeah.
Ugh. Like that's
And
when May starts losing it, like when she hears I like really lose it.
yeah, it's just, oh my
Because
gosh.
like the person you're in love with is like literally like her heart's breaking. Like she's like breaking in front of you. Like that's a lot. Like that's a lot.
And then May is able to compose herself first because, again, she's trying to be there for I. And I love how she grounds I by holding I's arm and squeezing slightly. And May then says that today they know they love each other. So why should they be apart? And then she continues to say that she can forgive I for everything and then asks if I can forgive her.
Yes. And honestly, I am so proud of May for asking this. Are you willing to forgive me, I? Because the answer to that question is the thing that May has been so afraid of the whole
Hmm.
show, right? I'm proud of her for actually saying it. Like that was the most truth. This is the most truthful thing in the conversation, honestly, from May, because like
Yeah.
this has been the truth that's been eating away at her, honestly, and she's been desperate to like avoid. But like, yeah, I'm proud of her for saying it.
Yeah. Kudos, May, for that.
Good job, May.
And I think that this is when I notices that her own emotions are being reflected back at her because
Yes.
her attention fully focuses on May and she sees that May is crying as much as she is. And like for I, she knows that May isn't a terrible person. And for May to also think that she is guilty reflects exactly what May is telling I. So basically, anything I is telling herself right now, she's basically saying to May as well. And so she really has no choice but to forgive May and herself.
Yeah. I think the other thing too is that I look surprised and kind of like shocked a little bit when May says, I forgive you. Because I don't think to your point, I wasn't talking to herself like a friend. I don't think I felt that she deserved forgiveness, but then here's May giving it to her. You know what I mean? I don't think she ever expected that, is the thing, too. I don't think she ever felt worthy of forgiveness, but like May gives it to her very willingly.
Yeah.
And then when May asks, like, "Do you forgive me?" I think the question feels a little absurd to May, because like if you listen to everything I just said, she's like, "I know you're not about it." She already like forgave you. She was already like, she basically said it already, where she's like, "You're a good person. Like, I know that you didn't mean it." Like, she kind of already forgave you in the dialogue. So like, but I think May like personally like needs I to directly answer her question. Yeah, May, sometimes you need questions directly answered. It's important. Like, to directly
Mhm.
answer questions, girl. We can both learn stuff from each other in this scene, May.
Yeah, May.
Yeah, May. And also, I love yourself, girl.
Oh my
Anyway,
gosh.
I didn't think we'd be yelling at the characters as much in this scene.
Me too.
Or is it like scolding the two of them?
We've done that a lot more as we go throughout the show.
Like,
We're like,
guys,
actually, guys, what the hell are you
what the fuck
doing?
are you doing? No, this is a good scene. It's a good, like, a raw emotional scene between the two of them. I do like this scene and the way it was done. But May, you gotta answer for
Yeah.
your bullshit.
And then since I is now more focused on May's emotions, I brings her hand up to grasp the arm Maya has on her shoulder. And like they're grounding each other in this moment. And it's just a beautiful connection where two people are trying to heal from past actions.
Yes.
And it's just, oh, I love it.
Yes.
And um they continue to cry together, and eventually I looks up and tells May that she loves her. And May pulls her into a hug and starts crying more because this is one of May's biggest fears, that I didn't love her. And when I tried to give her back to May felt like I didn't truly love her. But here I is explicitly saying that she still loves her, which is huge for May. And I hugs May back and tells her that she's sorry multiple times as they hold each other, afraid of the other person just like slipping away from them. And it's just, oh, my heart. I can't, like, she's saying sorry so many times. And what we don't get is May saying, I love you too, Ioun.
I know. I wish we got that because I really need her to say those words. Exactly.
I need it so bad. Please. I just, please,
Here's the
please.
deal, though. Um, okay. The thing that May was afraid of the most was that I didn't love her enough to forgive her for basically what happened to Ben and Ben's mother. Once she, because remember, like May was like, "Oh yeah, the truth's got to come out," and then once she realized that I was connected to the people that she wronged, that's when May's like, "I can't tell I the truth. I has to be the one to tell me because I'm worried she won't love me enough to choose me. She's going to choose her friends because she loves them more," kind of thing. So I think that it was important for May that when she asked do you forgive me? That I doesn't say yes. Responds, I love you. Okay? Because that's what May needed to hear, that I loves her the most. That's what she needs to hear. And like from a writing perspective, I like that I also responds with I love you instead of I forgive you, because I personally think that encompasses a lot more, like love encompasses a lot more than forgiveness does. And I
Mhm.
think I want to bring up a quote from the Greek tragedy Euripides, which you may have seen floating around the internet. It's between two characters, Orestes and Pallades. And to me, this embodies like it the best. And like one way people think of the story is between the two of them is it's like one soul, two bodies kind of thing. And that's kind of like what's going on with these two. And the quote is, they're having a conversation, right? And Pilates says, I'll take care of you. And Rusty says, it's rotten work. And Pilates responds, not to me, not if it's you. And to me, that's like, that's what this whole conversation really boils down to, right? It's basically the two of them admitting they're both horrible people. And they're like, let's be horrible together. Like, that's basically this conversation because, like, you're not horrible, like, because it's you and I love you the most, right? That's what this really boils down to.
Oh.
You froze. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. I
Okay. But
I
like,
think
all right. But in all seriousness, this conversation in this situation, like, we have two people who have wronged each other, like, in very serious life altering ways. Okay. And they're now at this crossroad. Okay, where they can either walk away from each other to make sure they don't hurt each other anymore, because they both are like, we are both capable of hurting each other very seriously, or they can try to work through it, right? And forgive each other and move on. And they choose to forgive each other and move on and like work through this, or more work forward, right, from the past kind of thing. But the thing is, these two forgot about the other person who is currently entangled in their bullshit and is at risk of being harmed, which is we all forget about It's not just the two of you, okay? You guys entangled a third fucking person in all of this, and we're just forgetting about them.
conveniently.
And you do get the shot of the taxi watching this bullshit go down at the end.
Oh my gosh.
Uh-huh. So we all forget about which is gonna cause some major problems.
We don't talk about boom.
We don't. We don't talk enough about Boom, and that is another tragedy. All right, so that brings us to the end of episode 10. We only have 2 episodes left. I can't fucking believe it. We're
I
almost done
know.
with Pluto. But to conclude this episode, it's time to give the Big Gay Energy Award.
Oh.
What gets the Big Gay Energy Award for this?
This one's really
I
hard.
don't know. Nothing super gay happened in this part, to be honest.
Me for getting food.
It's Mima trying to give everybody food. They all ditched Mima. No, I think to me the big gay energy was like, honestly, standing up for herself when she goes to Jan. I think that had a lot of big gay energy, to be honest, because she's trying to figure out the hell's going on in her relationship. Everyone's lying to her, and she's like, "Fucking tell me the truth, bitch," basically, but nicely. So I'm giving it to
Also, May keeping the rose
yeah,
and preserving it.
you know what? I had a lot of big gay dumb energy. Showing up with a new rose, which she was not supposed to see May.
Yes.
That's big gay dumb energy. So anyway,
All right. Time for Taylor Swift songs. What's yours for this episode?
I'm gonna do My Tears Ricochet as my song for this episode because it's basically like crying over a past relationship that blew up. And I think it applies to I, May, and and the part I want to bring up is honestly, this is like a lot about but this is May and this is everybody. So I didn't have it in myself to go with Grace. So here's I showing up with a rose, even though she's like, I'm gonna step away. She doesn't. May also doesn't step away from any of this. She causes bullshit in the background. And is like, what the fuck is going on? So nobody had it in them to go with Grace. And then quote, because when I'd fight, you used to tell me I was brave. And if I'm dead to you, why are you at the wake? Cursing my name, wishing I stayed. Look at how my tears ricochet. Really, it's the if I'm dead to you, why are you at the wake? To your point, I showed up with a rose. It's like almost like she's at a funeral, right? Why are you at the wake?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? And then like, the whole thing of like May fighting for I in the background because May's like, oh, you liked me when I was brave. You told me to be brave, and so I'm not giving up. And then like that's too. Is not giving up. She's being brave because like May probably told her that too. And like, yeah, anyway. So like I think that song encompasses this part of the episode. But everybody's crying because it's a clusterfuck, like,
Yeah. My song for this episode is Back to December. because
Oh.
if everyone could go back and change things, they would.
I
And
hope so.
especially the so I don't have anything written down for it, but this is me swallowing my pride, standing in front of you saying I'm sorry for that night. Like that could be console.
Yeah,
Like standing in front of
totally.
May being like, just take me.
That
I'm sorry. Like,
yeah, that was May in front of Ben, like,
yeah.
yeah, that's valid. I
So
having the confrontation with
yeah, it's
May,
like literally
everybody.
that's everyone this
As
episode
Jan
trying to
being
go
like, "I
back.
wish I told you the truth sooner, your sister made me do
I
this."
wish I could go back in time and not be involved in this bullshit.
Yeah, and that's me mod bidding, be like, "I wish I got up earlier so everybody could have breakfast." Like, everybody was back to this. Every single person. I'm sure
Oh
Pang
my
regrets
god.
something even though she wasn't on screen.
Officer Heidi regrets not being there.
Everything for Obserati. Damn. For
All
Obserati.
right.
Anyway.
Before we sign off, just a reminder of the challenges for this episode. How would each person react if went to them and asked them to tell her the truth?
And bonus, how would all the characters behave in therapy? And other bonus, what are our note lengths going to be like at the end of Pluto? So those are your
Yes.
challenges or things to ponder. Let us know in the comments. We will be taking a short break from Pluto for our next episode release, and then we will come back with the epic penultimate breakdown of episode 11, the one I've been waiting for, my Roman Empire. So buckle up for that.
Buckle up, bitches.
Buckle up. Buckle up. We even asked way back when, how long are we going to talk about that episode? And we'll give our Patreon member a shout out who answered that. And until next time, hydrate for lesbian Jesus.
And gay it up all over the place.
Bye.
Bye.
And with that, we've been Big Gay Energy. If you like this episode, check out all our other episodes right here on YouTube.
Please like, leave a comment below, and subscribe for more amazing super gay content.